Well, hello there, boys and girls. Uncle Matt here. Sit down and let me tell you the story of the longest episode of Game Over Cast we've ever done. A show so long, it took 2 whole days to record. That's right, boys and girls, 2 days. And let me tell you, nobody wants to listen to me for 2 hours, let alone 4 hours. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slice that show in half to save you from the droning and the droning that is my voice. Britt's okay, but you know, it's me that she's holding the camera. But so this is part 1 of the E3 50th episode spectacular. Part 2 will be up in a couple of days. So when we take a break, it's gonna be a long break, all right? We'll see you next time. Ta-ta.
Hello and welcome to Game Over Cast. On this episode, vampire games are cool, Minecraft goes Diablo, and hey, wait a minute, is that Geralt of Rivia on the Switch? All this and more coming right now on Game Over Cast.
I know.
The most reviled, unskippable cutscene since unskippable YouTube ads, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And now there's like 2.
I mean, it's cute. It's cute.
It's not cute. It's cute in the same way. Like, you ever see something so cute you just want to punch it?
No.
Like,
I just think, oh my god, how cute! It's
like,
so
how precious!
cute.
I must hit you.
I must love it. That's all I think.
I think it's just an evolution of, like, you know,
Maybe.
you'll see like grandparents like, oh,
So
it's weird. Take a
weird.
bite out of your cheeks, little cute thing, and you just think your
my
aunt was a
God.
witch. You've never heard that before?
I mean, yeah, like, yeah.
Hi, welcome to Game Overcast. Starting things off
Hello.
as we always do.
Weirdly.
Welcome to Game Overcast, episode 50, by the way, the
50.
big 50.
That's crazy.
OMG.
If we really count, it's probably going to be like 52.
But hey, you know who's counting?
I'm
It's all good. But
kidding.
I am your host, Matt.
Hi, I'm Steve.
Steve is here. Steve is here to tell us all about the new Minecraft
I'm
game.
always Steve from Windjammers.
That's right. Steve. That's cool. That works for me. But so
That's
so the show's we kind of skipped a show there.
yes.
Um
It was all his fault.
I'm going to actually have in the notes blame
100%.
Matt. So
No,
there
I'm
were
kidding.
several things. There was scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
E3 was going on while the show
Mhm.
was happening, which is what the show is about. And then there were some health-related issues, which made me not able to do the show. So
Mhm.
it's my fault. Blame me. Whatever. I'll take it. It's cool. Just bring it. Just lump it all on me.
But
I'll
it's
be letting
crazy
rot of
because
hate.
while you weren't, that was weird. Wow.
While
While you were not feeling well, you had work conventions,
yeah.
right? It was wait,
No, you were
no,
insane.
it was one convention.
Yeah.
It was Anime Matsuri.
Yes.
And that was the only convention.
Yes.
Sorry,
It felt like conventions to me, though.
It really did. The conventions blur to me now. I'm
Mhm.
like, wait, which convention is what?
Matsuri was fun,
Mhm.
but I wasn't feeling like I started not feeling great right about that time.
Yeah,
So I
like
was
right around that time.
It's funny, I didn't get con sick though. I got something else sick,
Mhm,
which what I was expecting to get con sick because I always get con sick.
Yeah.
Y'all know that like that con
Crud
yeah,
is
the
what they call
virus
it.
that goes
Mhm.
around. I
Mhm.
got that last time when I worked Comic Palooza, and it definitely like whooped me.
Yeah, it's because you're surrounded by so many people, and there's just like germs
Disgusting
flying everywhere,
humans.
like sneezing, and you have no idea what someone may have. Like there's probably sick people touching things, and so yeah,
Mhm.
it's understandable that
I mean,
stuff can get passed
Like
around.
if that were me though, I would like specifically try to make other people sick because like I'm miserable and misery loves company. So like I'd like sneeze on my hands and just touch everything.
Oh my dude, that's
And be like,
terrible. That is terrible, and that makes me want to cry right now because I am the hugest germaphobe
You've
on the
seen,
planet.
like evil little children be like picking their nose and
I
be like,
can't.
"Here's
No,
a present
I
for
can't. I can't.
you." All right. Well, let's get game. We'll get in the game
Yes,
here. We
yes.
have a huge show. It may not be long. It might be the one time I'm like, "Hey, we got a big show," and the show is done in like 45 minutes. That would be great.
Right.
But we got a big show. I took a lot of notes about E3, and then I went back and tried to like refine them as much as I can refine things, and more or less just me griping about stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm letting you know now. There will be griping on this show. There will be insults thrown. There will be arguments made.
But don't you worry. I will 100% put him in his place.
I mean, but what if my place is the correct place?
I
Because
mean, we'll see. We'll see.
We will see.
I looked over some of these notes and I was like,
I've tried to keep an open mind. I've
Yes.
tried to remain positive, and some of these ones I will try to remain positive, but I'm going to point out if there's concerns, if there's flaws. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
We're skipping news, but we will talk now playing, because some playing has been done now. And I believe it needs to be spoken about. Yes,
Indeed.
Brittany, what have you been playing now?
So when I playing now, playing right now, right now as I'm speaking, I'm playing
with her feet. She's
JK.
quite talented with her feet. She paints all of her pictures with her feet, and she walks on them. I don't know about most people, but we walk on our feet as human beings.
Okay. So while I was working Anime Matsuri, sometimes it's weird because at cons, sometimes you will be rushed, your booth will be rushed, and there's a ton of people at your booth, and you're like, ah, and sometimes no one will stop.
Britt, let's face it, your booth was empty the whole weekend, wasn't
I
it?
mean, it was pretty, no, I'm kidding.
I actually walked by and you did have a bit of a crowd, so that's nice.
Yeah,
Good for
I mean, sometimes, it's weird because like sometimes it was really dead. Like Sunday was really slow.
I think that if
really
anyone was in
slow.
Houston that weekend, 45 was closed.
Yes.
In that portion of town, which was awful, and I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it was a nightmare getting to, and especially from the con. It was really disastrous.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Sunday was really, really dead. I think it was Father's Day.
Yes, it was also Father's Day. Yeah.
So that could be why? Question mark. I don't know, but typically when you work a convention, Sundays do tend to be. I mean, I guess it depends on what's going on, because Sunday can be really slow because it's the last day and everybody's
Right.
tired, or they know that it's the last day to pick stuff up, so sometimes
bit of
it
a
gets
mad
really
rush.
busy. Yeah, so really busy. English is hard,
Itty
man.
bitty busy people.
English, it is hard anyway. But yeah, so there was moments where it was like really busy, and then there was moments where it was a lull and there wasn't really
Right.
much going on. But I decided to bring my Switch and play Remulor.
Ooh, is that good?
Yes,
I have that, and I don't think I've even opened it.
It's so good. It's really fun. And people kept asking me, because I feel like it's one of those games that's really under the radar.
Yeah.
And it released and no one really knew it released. And then those stores only got like 1 or 2 copies and that was it. I think when I picked it up, there was only 1 copy
So one
available.
about the anime girl with the broom in the book, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I have that.
So I just kept telling people it's like Diablo, but with waifus. Which, does that not sound amazing?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So
it
it does have multiplayer in it, though?
Does it?
Does it?
I actually don't know, but I think so.
Because there's a couple games on this list where,
No,
like, that
I'm-
looks really cool. Why doesn't it have multiplayer in it?
No,
though?
I'm pretty sure that one does have multiplayer.
I think you're right.
I think that one's up
I
to
need to
4
actually play
players.
it.
But I didn't have anybody to play with. I was up alone. I know, isn't that sad?
Womp womp.
Womp womp. I was alone at my booth, so so I was playing it alone, so I didn't get to test the multiplayer feature, so I'm not sure. But the character is really cute, and the book is a character, because you stumble across this book and then it kind of takes you on this journey, and the book is a scaredy cat. It's easily startled, and that's how the journey started.
Skittish book.
And it also really loves sweets. So yeah, it's amazing.
Pattern detected.
Yep. It's basically my life, like this book. But yeah,
Lord.
it's really good. I would highly recommend playing it. It is kind of weird though. It took a little bit of getting used to, because it plays very similar to Diablo, and you have like as you fight enemies and you go through the stages, weapons drop, and you can pick them up, and it'll tell you like which weapon is stronger, like the one you have, or blah blah blah. Basically pretty standard stuff.
Right.
But you can't really tell, in my opinion, when a level ends. It feels like it should be the end, and then things happen, and then you continue.
So it's kind of roguelike then, where you keep
Yes.
going and you make choices about weapons and abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
And now I am in a new area, because I jumped into a new area, so obviously like the level is different, but it just kind of flows into the next level. It's not a clear like, this is over, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it has a grading system, so it grades you a few times, but it happens a few times throughout the level, so
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like
per encounter kind of
yeah,
thing.
so it feels like it should be the end, but it's sometimes not, or
I feel like
maybe
I'll need
it
to play
was,
it, yeah.
and I just rolled
You
right
just
into the
kept
next
on
level.
going.
I don't know, but I felt like it wasn't a clear distinction, like this is the next
Good
area. I
job.
just walked into the next room, and I was like, oh, I guess this is the next level technically, but it's really, really good. I'm really happy with it.
Nice. I like. anything else. I
Mm.
know you've been playing Animal Crossing.
When
I've
am I
seen
not
it.
playing Animal Crossing?
Had to confiscate your phone because we're trying to talk
Which
about
is
the
so
show stuff.
rude.
And I'm like, would you put that away for a minute, please?
But I have to talk to my buddies. And it's just so... It relaxes me, okay? First of all, Animal Crossing is precious, and the art is amazing. I love the art style. And then it's so relaxing. You can just talk to animals, and you can go fishing, and you can give them snacks, and you can give them
Hey guys,
presents.
I'm Mark Wahlberg. Let's go talk to some animals. Hey chicken, how's your mother?
I feel like, there you go, that's my life.
That's just
Thank you,
Brittany, just
Robot
talking
Chicken.
talking to chickens.
But yes,
Oh,
it's
man.
so good. I can't get away from it. I can't. It's just so precious. I cannot wait for the Switch version. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
We will talk about it.
I'm so excited.
Boy, I'll tell
No,
you what.
No, shut up. You're
I'm
not
so
allowed to.
excited
You are not
just
allowed to
Just
badmouth
to dump. Just
any Animal Crossing whatsoever.
guys, it's crap.
No,
Okay,
it's
I've
so
talked about it
good.
before. I don't understand Animal Crossing. I don't understand why I play it for hours.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
I was gonna say, what? How dare you?
It's like I am aware that I am wasting my time.
Because remember, I'm going to remind you, remember the first Classic Game Fest we worked together, or we did together. I was a volunteer that year.
Yes, you were.
And we all took our 3DSs and played Animal
Well, that was
Crossing.
like a massive like street pass party where I went from like having like 20 street passes to like 500.
I know, it's
I was like,
amazing.
oh my God.
Amazing. But
I
hey,
kind of missed that on the Switch, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like Sweet Pass. Yes, like his candy and he's like trading. Street Pass was cool and it was a neat little thing, and I kind of wish they still had that. Oh, well, sorry.
that'd be kind of cool. Maybe they'll add it. I don't know. Did a lot of people do that though?
Not in this country.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that's a feature that would be super, super popular in Japan.
And it was.
But I don't feel like it's a feature that would be that popular here.
And it wasn't. I
Yeah.
mean, it was-ish, but it wasn't, and Japan's a lot more crowded also from what
Yeah.
I understand, so it was just a lot easier to get street passes because a lot of people take trains, and over
Yeah.
here you don't. You're in a car, and then you know.
That's understandable.
We're
But it is so
antisocial human
exciting
beings.
whenever you pass somebody and you're like, oh my God. And then you open your DS and
And
you're
you'd
like, oh
see
my
me
God.
and be like, who is this
someone
wacko?
had someone street past me. It's really cool.
Mhm. It was really
But
cool.
yeah. But no, I mean, the Switch is amazing. I have so much love for the 3DS, but I don't know. The Switch has replaced it.
Oh, yeah, for
It
sure.
has replaced it for
Definitely.
me personally.
It's a
So
glorious device
love
that
it.
sometimes just can't run things without melting, but we'll get there. So I've been playing
that's
some
one
stuff.
thing. Okay.
It's several things.
No.
Zelda.
No.
Chug, chug, chug
No,
goes the
it
choo-choo
doesn't.
train.
I'm gonna fight you on Zelda till the end of time.
Xenoblade, oh my God.
I've
talked about this before, but
Mm-hmm,
when I played Xenoblade docked for the first time, I'd already played the game for like 90 hours. The game
Mm-hmm.
felt wrong because it was running at a respectable FPS, so it felt like it was moving
I
too
think
quickly.
it was just in my personal opinion, I don't really think it was that bad. I think you were just playing in that mode for so long
You got used to the low frame rate.
that it was it was a little bit jarring for you because it was a little bit of a change.
A lot of bit jarring.
A little bit of a change.
was like-
I don't feel like it was a huge change.
Well, you once again, have you played Xenoblade for 210 hours? or
Not
250?
210
Have
hours,
you
no.
played it for 2 hours?
Yes.
No, you have
I
not.
have with you.
You watched. You didn't actually play it. It's just whatever. Moving on. Fine. So I have been playing Bloodstained.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh my God.
The music is really beautiful.
That game is on point. The music is the way it moves is the graphics are still like it's
Are
still.
you kidding me?
I will never ever like the 2.5D decision. I would have much preferred it to be sprites, but sprites take longer. They're more
But-
expensive.
Which is crazy to me. But
They-
I think it's gorgeous.
They did make it a lot prettier than it used to be. It looks a lot better than it used to look, for sure. It would still look better if it was true 2D, but it is a phenomenal game, and you should buy it. I am currently 99.5% done with the castle.
Oh no.
I'll try not to spoil too much, but yeah, so 99 and I think 100. I think before one of the patches you get 101%, but it's not like Symphony where you can do 200%. It's 100% is the max.
That's good.
For
to
reasons I don't want to explain, but there isn't an inverted castle, but there kind of is at the same time. I think you know why there isn't an inverted castle if I say the word invert enough times. Do you remember the thing I showed you when you were over? Do you remember that?
No.
No? Okay,
I'm
cool.
so sorry.
Well, I don't want to spoil too much. People have already beat the game backwards and forwards, but the game's been
Yeah.
out for like 2 weeks or for a week if you've got it for the Switch. I don't want to spoil too much.
Though something that I think is super, super hilarious, I guess it was like Kickstarter backers,
Yeah.
but people's pets are in
Yes.
the game.
I've had to murder so many cats and dogs.
This makes me so sad. I don't want to kill a kitty or a puppy.
And it's like the later Igavanias also, where you get souls, or in this case they're called shards, and they have a drop chance when you kill enemies. So you will be grinding enemies for their shards, because the more you get, the more powerful the ability gets. So I've killed hundreds of cats.
I remember I was watching you play it, and this like, I don't even know what kind of dog it was, but it had a little bow.
It's a cute, fluffy
Did it
dog,
not have
and it's just the dog's head.
It's just the head,
Yeah.
but I swear it
I
had a
don't
hair
think
bow.
it had a bow. It was just fluffy.
Maybe I'm making this up in my mind. It is entirely possible.
It's a big beheaded fluffy puppy.
But it was a fluffy puppy, and I was like, don't kill it.
Yeah, murdered it over and over and over again. I need those souls, man. The souls are the best. And the paintings on the walls are all backers, which I gotta say does kind of pull me
That's
out
really
of it, because there's these obvious not characters that just look like
I think that's really cool, though.
it's neat, but it's just that was meh. But the game itself, it feels really good. There's actually still a couple of little buggy bugs where occasionally things will hit you through walls, or enemies will be dead, but then you'll run past them, and like their like fading corpse will still hit you, which isn't the way it's supposed to work. And there's a weird bug where when you're landing, like as you're going down, a big thing at least I've always done in Castlevania is to get 2 quick hits in, is to swing before you hit the ground and swing again. With some swords, when you land, it cancels the attack as opposed to just flowing through it. So I've heard that's just a bug with Unreal Engine. I don't know the actual issue with it, but little things. It's not a big deal. And some of the weapons you get attacked so fast, it doesn't really matter anyways. But it's really good.
Singing Fairy is the bomb.
Yeah, the piano part was cool.
Just the
Spoilers.
bomb.
But yeah, there's so much more to do still. I still need to go back through it on Nightmare difficulty and just do it all over again.
Oh, man.
It's like Symphony. It's the kind of game that I'll play every couple of months and just go through it all over again. But I want to max out. I want to get all the shards. I'm down to just the shards you have to craft, which I didn't know you had to do until after I collected everything else. I was like, I'm done. I'm not done. Crap.
And you really love this game. Like, you're really putting your money where your mouth is, because you have purchased the PC version and the PlayStation version. And even though you hated the Switch version.
Yeah. Triple dipping here, man. Because I couldn't wait, so I got it on PS4 when it came out. And I played the crap out of that. And then I really, was looking forward to playing it on the Switch, because, a portable Igavania is great. I mean, that's why you want it. Like, I play Symphony so much because I can take it on my Vita and take it on plane rides, do it in hotel rooms, whatever I want to do with it. I will not be playing the Switch version for the foreseeable future.
That is a bummer.
Because it's a hot, steaming pile of mess.
And you know what? Usually I'm the really positive one that's like, no, it's not that bad. But there was a moment where I was sitting down. I don't know. You were playing. I don't know what I was doing. But we were sitting down next to each other. And his Switch just kept vibrating.
Now, there is, for the record, when your health is low on the Switch, it vibrates. But, so what I think happened is I got hit, and then I healed, and it just didn't realize I healed, so it just kept buzzing for like 30 minutes until I turned the game off.
It would not stop. You had to turn the Switch off, and I thought it was the funniest thing. But it was getting a little frustrating. And then I also noticed that the background
started to pixelate and go all glitchy.
and wouldn't load, which I thought was crazy.
And do you remember during the cutscene where everything looked like a plaid grid and everything was really blurry?
It is a little rough on the Switch. I still think it's really cool that it's an option on the Switch. It's possible for them to patch in something later.
It's possible to patch. There's also there's more problems as you play the game. People are thinking there might be a memory leak or something, because as it goes, the transition between rooms gets longer and longer and longer, to where for me it was almost like half to almost a full minute going between rooms. And some rooms you go between very fast, especially when you're grinding enemies. You go through rooms like every second or two, you're back and forth. Imagine that. Back, waiting 30 seconds, forth, waiting 30 seconds, back, waiting. It doesn't work.
It is so funny to me, though, because I feel like 30 seconds is not a long time.
But when it's supposed to be do.
But I get it. I definitely understand.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And then let's talk about the input lag. So I also got the PC version because it's just the best. Sorry. It
So
is.
was that made for PC and then it was ported onto PlayStation and Switch?
I don't know the details. I know it was originally made for all the consoles. It was supposed to be on Wii U and Vita initially also, but
Oh, wow.
yeah, but it took so long to be made.
That'd be cool to have it on the Vita.
I mean, can you imagine? Because this is one of the rare cases where it's not the Switch's fault. It's one of the rare times where I'm not going to blame the Switch's subpar hardware because the Switch can run other 2D games just fine. This is just a really god-awful, lazy port.
I think the Switch is a great system.
The Switch
I hate it when you say things
The Switch
like
is
that.
a great system, but you just need to recognize in any rational human
Obviously,
being,
it's not going to be
underpowered.
It's obviously not going to be on the level of PlayStation and Sony and Microsoft.
And when they try to make games like Mortal Kombat and Wolfenstein work on the Switch, there are tremendous sacrifices.
But I would rather have those games on the Switch than not have them.
Yes, but
and I don't feel like it is that much of a deal breaker.
Comparatively, it is very underpowered, and that's just the reality. Now, you can either accept it or you can deny it, but the truth is just there.
And you know what's funny? I actually got into somewhat of a disagreement with somebody not too long ago. It was Robin. But she was telling me, like, hey, I feel like, you know, if graphics in a game, we were talking about graphics, and she basically feels like if graphics in a game suck, she can't get into the game. And I'm like, I'm the exact, and she was like, nobody on the planet, everybody's like that. I'm like, no. I am 100% not like that. I don't care what the game looks like. As long as I have fun, as long as the mechanics are awesome, like, I don't care what a game looks like. I will play it and I will enjoy it. You know, obviously, it's a bonus if games are beautiful, you know, definitely. It doesn't, that is not a deal breaker to me.
Let me provide a counter argument to that. Not necessarily a counter argument, but more of an expansion.
Okay.
Because as you know, nothing is quite that black and white. But so allow me to counter that by saying a game doesn't have to look like, I don't know, let's say The Witcher 3.
So beautiful.
On a PC, like maxed out, which I was doing the other day, by the way, with my 2080.
Geralt.
Gosh, it looks great. And it still starts to chug even with like brand new hardware. The game is just Anyways, he's so pretty.
He is. Continue.
His hair just flowing
he is gorgeous.
That
with
bath scene.
Beautiful yellow eyes.
Anyways, now not every game has to look like that, but a game does need to be, should we say, artistically and visually sound, where a game can look like absolute blech and, you know, could have horrible animations, shall we say, and, you know, things that you would expect from a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company.
God.
We'll get
I know where this is
where this is going, and we'll get back to it. But I would say counter-argument, though, where it doesn't have to look great, where it can be like Castlevania, Bloodstained. It's freaking Castlevania.
That is a terrible comparison, because Bloodstained is gorgeous.
It doesn't look the best, or even like the Switch version. The Switch version is definitely much more muddy, a lot more blurry. But
it's still a beautiful game.
If there wasn't input lag, if there wasn't load time problems and glitches, it would still be completely playable. And like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat runs like a dream on the Switch. It looks like garbage, but it runs.
And you know what? I am sure that Geralt is still going to look like a snack on the Switch.
We'll get to that. He might look like a slightly blurry snack, but we'll get there. But so that would be my counter. A game doesn't have to have, you know, 4K resolution and super shiny kind of stuff, but it has to. There are certain standards exist where, you know, things have to run a certain way and look a certain way. And you wouldn't expect it from, you know, from Bob the Builder in his garage. You'd give him a little bit of leeway. We're going to talk about Bloodstain. Everything's Bloodstain. Vampire the Masquerade, where it's not being made by a giant studio, so you have to give it some allowances where it looks good, but it's not going to look great.
I'm sure it's still going to look great.
But that's what I mean, though, where, you know, there are certain things, but when you have other companies, you know, like say a Bethesda game looks and runs like crap, Fallout 76, that's inexcusable.
That I understand, because it's supposed to be a AAA game done by a AAA studio.
$60.
And when you get games like Hollow Knight, which is beautiful, you know, I can definitely
or a lot of Mario games or Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, where they look great, they run solid.
Oh Lord, but Nintendo's been doing that for.
But they do it right. Nintendo runs
30
on
years.
Underpowered systems recently, so you know they make the most of the hardware. So it may not have the shiniest graphics, but it looks good and it's still pleasant on the eye. You know what I mean?
Like new Super Mario Brothers on the Switch. it's a port.
Yes.
But I think it still looks
Oh
fantastic.
my god, I hate that game so much.
What?
So much. It occurred to me actually over Matsuri exactly
my
how
God,
much.
I'm gonna fight you.
Because I played back to back. I played
Yeah.
Mario Brothers on the Switch and I played Mario Brothers 3 on the NES. And my God, new Mario, it feels like you're running through a tub of molasses. It's slow. It's sluggish.
I mean,
Mario gained a lot of weight.
I bet it was a little bit of a shocker to you if you're playing them back to back.
Yes.
But I feel like if you played one and then haven't played it for a few months or even a few weeks and you play the other one, I'm sure it's not that bad.
Oh yes, that's like if you have a really nice filet mignon steak like a decade ago, and then you give me like Hamburger Helper, I might not realize it's as bad. It's just, but whatever. Bloodstained. It's really good. The Switch port, if it's your only option, you might still want to get it, but you might want to wait. They're talking about they've shifted all of their resources, which is kind of annoying because they've shifted away from the other playable characters and the co-op mode and all the other DLC and stuff.
So what have they shifted their resources to?
Onto fixing the Switch version and making it not
Oh,
garbage.
I see.
So it's nice they're going to fix it.
Well, that's cool.
They
yeah.
shouldn't have released it in this state. Like, it got delayed a week longer than everything else.
Yeah.
So they could do nothing to it. It's like, so they could like...
Well, what can you do in a week, honestly?
That's what they should have delayed it under 6 months if they needed to. It is what it is. It feels like they delayed it a week to kind of like shift off negative opinion of the game as a whole, which to me feels kind of shady. Because, the game itself is amazing.
I don't really feel like it's a problem because it is playable. It is still 100% playable.
Yeah.
And
vaguely.
they're going to patch it.
That input lag makes it really hard.
And I get it that's kind of like, I'm sure like someone screening at me that that's encouraging people to release bad games.
So
but
I would say don't buy it.
But
for
it
Switch.
is a great game.
It
They put a
is.
lot of love into this game. The Switch version isn't perfect, but that's going to be fixed.
But like also a lot of people don't just own a Switch. A lot of people own a PS4, an Xbox One, or most toaster PCs can run it, and they'll run it better than the Switch could. So just do it on something else until they patch it. I mean, I will be the first person to boot it up on my Switch when it runs again, but I'm not going to touch it until they fix it though. Because it just...
But I still think if you want, you should still buy it for the Switch because...
But I'm recommending that you do not, unless you really want input lag and you love muddy textures and glitchies and crashes and glitchies. Those are the glitches. Yeah, really bad glitches, really bad crashing. I didn't mention
little creatures
the
that have bunny
horrible
ears.
slowdown, the horrible like down to single-digit FPS slowdown sometimes. It's real bad, guys. Like, I paid for it, and I'm telling you, it's real bad. Buy it for something else. Like, buy the game because it's one of the best Metroidvanias I've played in the past decade. But buy it for something other than the Switch until they fix it, or just wait until they fix it and then buy it because it's real bad. It's real bad.
I mean, in the meantime, I will play Remulor and Lego Harry Potter.
There you go.
I picked up Lego Harry Potter again, and I'm excited.
Sorry.
I'm really excited.
Man, every Lego game has been the same since Star Wars.
They're
really has
fun
been.
though. They're just cute, and it's fun to play as the characters that you really like.
I'll grant you that. I just can't. So, also playing just a little bit because it just came out. Shadowbringers, Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
So I need to have a chat.
Oh my goodness.
I need to have a chat. They've made some changes, some good changes, and some bad changes to some of my characters. I am, as I've talked before, I'm a healer main now. Ever since I was playing Overwatch with friends, like, crap, we don't have a healer. I'm like, well, I'll try it. And ever since I'm like, hey, I'm not too bad at this. Yay!
Yeah. You're actually a pretty decent healer.
And it's nice, too, because I don't have to wait in a queue for 50 hours. That's why I only heal and tank now, because I can play the game and not wait for 2 weeks to play the game.
Leave us black mages alone.
You fodder over there with your DPS, you and your samurais weepy looking at you, and all these people like, I got to wait 4 hours to get it. Not me. Insta-queue, baby. But
whatever.
So I've got a 70 White Mage and a 70 Astrologian. And I've talked about the classes before. White Mage if you've played Final Fantasy, it's a White Mage. It's a very cut and dry healer. One of its issues is it was just that it didn't really have any personality. It was just kind of
and you get a
bland.
unicorn. I hate you.
And you get a unicorn, yes.
I hate you.
I have 2 unicorns now. Do you know that? I
I'm
have a
so
white one and a
mad.
black one.
I want a
The
black
one's
unicorn.
called the Nightmare. You can get the black one, actually.
Can I?
Yes, you have to get it by you get it from farming the Garuda Extreme Fight. She has a very small chance of getting it.
Oh, really? I was
Yes.
like the drop weight.
It took me a couple days. Yeah.
The
Well, 'cause
drop rate is
every
probably ridiculous.
Primal Extreme from the first series of whatever gives you a special elemental horse. Garuda will, however, drops the regular wind one, and which I also have, and then Nightmare, which is a black unicorn with like a
Oh,
flaming.
that's so rad.
Yeah.
I want it. Though I haven't had time to get back into that.
I also have the gold Magitech armor, which you get from lots of player commendations, which admittedly is very easy as a healer because everyone's like, thanks for not killing me.
Thanks for keeping me alive.
Yeah, like tanks and healers just get them because DPS like, thanks for hitting the
because I feel like it is so stressful to be a healer. This is why I never play this class. It does. I 100% admit it takes a special person to be a healer.
I like it. I like the pressure.
I cannot handle that pressure. I'm like, no thanks.
It's so
Please
awesome.
don't rely on me to keep you alive. I just want to kill things
on fire.
and I don't want to worry about you.
So White Mage, I enjoyed it, but it did feel, especially once you got to the later endgame bits, it just felt kind of bland and there wasn't a lot of utility to it. So I started leveling an Astrologian. The Astrologian is the Yu-Gi-Oh healer. They heal with a magical deck of cards. It's hilarious, and the way it worked.
I like to think of them as tarot cards.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
they are. I just imagine them with their because they have this thing. It's like the Yu-Gi-Oh thing on their wrist, but it's on their hip, just full of cards. And it's like, you've deployed my trap card.
That's amazing.
Lord of Knives or whatever. It's hilarious. But, so the way the Astro worked up until 5.0, which is Shadowbringers, is you had 6 cards, or Arcana, where you would have one of 6 abilities, and you would randomly draw one of these 6 cards, just like it is when you're playing a card game, and it would have, you could deploy it on either yourself or one of your party members, and it would give them one of 6 buffs, either like damage, extra damage, damage reduction, TP regen, MP regen, crit up, or attack speed, one of those 6. So that was cool because then you have to memorize what the cards did and figure out the right person to give the card to in the right situation. And then you could further augment that. I'm sorry, people don't care. I'm just trying to explain why my issue with it now. You could further augment that ability by, instead of using that card, you could kind of eat it and use that card to augment the next card, improving its power, either by doubling its duration or doubling its power or making it area of effect across an entire area, plus increasing its power like 50%. So there was levels of complexity to it where you had to figure out, okay, I've got this card and I want to get this card, so should I just like eat it or should I spend it? And all right, do I want to have damage reduction or do I want to make my DPS attack faster or do I need to give myself extra mana? You would have this along with the healing.
I just feel like that is so much to handle in a dungeon.
And it was so much fun.
You know what I mean? Like, when I'm walking through a dungeon as a black mage, I'm just like, oh my God. I'm I got to make sure that I'm hitting this button, I'm casting the spell, I'm doing it. That is way too much to worry about.
There was a third level where you could even do something else with them at that point.
I was going to say,
so awesome.
As a black mage, just trying to figure out what spell you're going to fire up next is enough. Like, it is so stressful. I can't imagine just having to worry about all of that.
It was awesome. I loved it. It wasn't for everyone, and that's why there were 3 healing classes.
Yeah.
That was the point. It was variety.
And then you have your party, like someone in your party is like, come on, get your crap together, healer or something.
And I'm like, cool, someone's not getting healed the rest of the match. Ta-ta. You're not the tank. You are expendable.
You've never had that, really.
Oh, yes, I have.
You have?
Oh, yes.
Okay, but every time you and I do a dungeon together, you're on point, like for real.
It doesn't matter. You can be the most on point in the world and you'll have some jackball. And we've all been that jackball sometimes, but you're like, come on, man, you're not doing your job, or he'll run in and he'll expect you to do everything. I have a very simple way of playing where I follow the tank. No one else leads me but the tank. If the tank charges in, I'll charge in after them and I will die with the tank. But if a DPS runs into the tank six pack, that DPS is shredded meat.
Well, no DPS in their right mind is going to run in ahead of the tank.
A lot of out of
That's
the right
ridiculous.
mind DPS in the world of the MMO, Brittany.
That is the trade-off. You are squishy because you are very powerful.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that stuff. That's the tank's job.
But I've had lots of smack talked, and I've done so in return, where it's just really simple. It's like,
and also, like, that is not, if you run in like a moron, you no. You are. If I'm so sorry. If I like to do that too, but here's the deal. Like, there's a
time and a place.
A time and a place for that. But you definitely should know that's not the right way. You're just being a troll, hopefully, at that point. Like, you know what I mean? But if you're seriously playing in a dungeon, like, my thing is like, okay, I gotta stay back. I gotta keep my eye. I gotta stay close to the tank and the healer. Because that's just the smartest thing to do. That I really, that's how I feel. And then you can deal the damage, and the tank is doing his job. He's taking that beating for you, so you don't have to take it because you won't survive long. And then the healer, if you ever get hit, is right there with you.
He'll top you up, but you are supposed to not be getting hit as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, that's what I'm saying. So the Astrologian now in 5.0, they've neutered those cards as far as the complexity goes, where you still have 6 cards, but the 6 cards only do one thing. They improve damage. They either improve melee damage or range damage. So across the 3 cards, there are 2 possibilities. And that's it. And then, the 3 cards have 3 different sigils, and you need to line up the 3 sigils to get another area of effect damage bonus. And that's all. That's all that cards do anymore. It's so boring. I feel like, what's his face? The Corleone from Godfather. Look how they've massacred my boy. It's so boring now.
I don't think so. I think that we're creatures of habit, right? And you've got used to something. You don't like change.
I like change. Like the white mage, they've made them better. They've made him boring now.
I was going to say, a lot of people don't like change, but I feel like they're just making it a tad bit easier so you have a little bit less to worry about. And I don't think that's a problem.
They've made it easier for the normies.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, but I get that it was complicated. I get that it gave you a lot to worry about, and I get that it wasn't ideal for deeps and raids. But that's like when they started balancing Overwatch exclusively for the 2% hardcore esports community. Literally millions of your players are never going to do that, and that's when I'm like, cool. I think I'm done. Because the balance shifts affect so few people directly, and everyone else is like, why would you nerf that thing like that way?
I mean, am I going to play this class now? Absolutely not.
You never were, though, either.
I never was, but, because it's just not my cup of tea. I can't, and back what I was saying earlier, no healer can heal you that quickly if that's the type of character that you're playing, and that's what you're doing. That's what I was getting at. But I'm still not going to play it, but I can understand why they wanted to make it a little bit more accessible for other people to try that class that normally would not have tried that class. I don't think that's a problem.
It's a great class that's been murdered in the name of accessibility.
And it's okay.
I had to learn the cards. I had to figure it out. Everyone, but it's cool. It's I don't think it's gonna last because from what I understand, Scholar got it even worse. I haven't played Scholar. I need to talk to Andy about it. But I've heard that Scholar got just ruptured at the neck. Because they're trying really hard to make healers healer exclusive, and that's their way to do that seems to be making you have to heal and removing all of your other utility, which sucks. But we'll see.
I mean, honestly, whenever we were seriously doing a dungeon, seriously doing one, not, just having fun or whatever, I really felt
Serious
like
gaming.
you were always focused on healing. You never used any kind of DPS thing that you may have had.
Yeah.
I don't ever recall that.
You weren't watching. Healers don't do a lot of DPS, but it accounts to a percentage.
I mean, I know that when you were helping me on my quests and we were doing it alone, you would focus on healing me and give me whatever buff or whatever, and then you would help me attack that said creature or whatever.
A good healer will pop in, in my case, I'd always, every enemy we'd find, I'd pop a dot on and then get to healing. So there's always some damage contributed. It's not a constant thing because I'm busy. I
mean, I guess it is nice to have somebody else who who has a dot.
It's nice. Extra damage is always good. For me, Astral Legends, that they've removed the utility. I can't do damage buffs. I can only do damage buffs. I can't do debuffs. I can't do resistances. I can't do anything else anymore. And it's But I mean, we'll see. I've played it very little, and it just came out, so there are definitely going to be more balance changes because I am not the only one who's like, hey, what happened? Stop it!
I'm sure they're just trying stuff out, and then they'll, as they go, they'll be tweaking things.
Very much so. So it sounds like they're doing some pretty big changes though, because it feels like the range DPS they're moving more in a support range. Like the dancer, I know I griped about it was a DPS, and we didn't need another DPS because DPS are just whatever. But it feels like they're trying to shift range DPS into that support where they're still damage, but they're damage plus support now, and melee DPS are just straight up, DPS now. So we'll see moving forward. Maybe later down the line it'll be something else. Who knows? But I have to play it more. I'm sure by the next show I'll have some more insight on it, other than I don't know. I just did my things.
And maybe by the end of the year I'll be able to get back into it.
Yeah, by the end of the year you'll be like, yeah, that's right. I'm level 45 now.
Once August, I think August is my last 2 conventions, and then we'll be good until next year.
Right, give you a good 3 months of party time.
Yeah.
So let's dig into the show now that we're 30 minutes in.
It's only been 30 minutes. It feels like it's been an hour.
I know. I am so boring. I apologize.
No, that's not what I meant, but it just does. It feels like it.
Friend,
I'm double checking
when I'm with you, time slows down. Well, that's how long we've actually been recording.
Okay.
Okay, so E3. ergonomic.
Bye. Good night.
Exact.
That was it.
E3. Roll credits. Podcast GameOverVideogames.com. So we'll just start. I took notes. Some of these notes are a lot shorter than others. Like EA Play, there really wasn't a whole lot there to see. Everything that we saw there was stuff that's already out, like new maps for Battlefield, new junk for sports. Anthem is officially dead as far as I'm concerned now. They had nothing to. They're like, yeah, we understand. We've been listening to the players, and we realized, like, it took you like 4 months to realize that your game was broken. To listen to people saying your game is crap and you should fix it. Yeah, it's just it's on my list of most disappointing games in history at this point now.
I think just give them some time. I think
they've had like half a year.
But I bet some.
BioWare just needs to
something.
go away. They need to go away and just stop.
I think that's a bit excessive.
They're poorly run. They're poorly managed. They don't know what they're doing. They spent 5 years with their heads essentially up their butts and made a game in like 6 months. And that's why it's so empty and bad.
Well, I feel like obviously somebody should be held accountable. There should be like a little bit of accountability there. But I don't think...
Public burning at the stake?
I don't think they should go away. I think that those problems should be fixed.
Fixed by expungement. But so there was that, and then there was, we saw those stuff with The Sims and, lots of other stuff I didn't really care about. Yeah. I should also mention...
I've never been a Sims person.
I specifically, a lot of things that just didn't really kind of blow our skirts up here, we just didn't include. So if there's some things that we missed that you wanted us to talk about, by all means, let us know, podcast@GameOverVideogames.com. But there's a lot of stuff on here as it is. So I just cut a lot of stuff out. We saw Star Wars. We saw the first gameplay for Star Wars. What's it called?
Jedi
again?
Fallen
Thank
Order.
you. Yeah, I was going to call it The Last Jedi, but that's a whole different thing. That was a bad movie. So we saw Jedi Fallen Order, and I really want to like this game.
Yes,
I want to like it bad.
Me too.
It's made by my boys at Respawn.
I want to play it now.
Who did Titanfall? Some of one of my favorite single player games
yeah.
ever.
You love
was Titanfall
that
2. But I gotta say, from what I saw, it didn't look that good.
What do you mean?
It looked okay. It looked like
it comes out in November.
Yes, which is not a lot of time in video game. Everyone's like, you've still got like 8 months. I'm like, so the game's practically done then, right?
I mean, I get it because you also have to.
The game's finished. You're fixing bugs. You're shipping it. You're working on DLC because it's EA.
But here's the beauty of nowadays. You can...
Do not say they can release the game broken. I didn't accept that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Obviously, like, you don't want to release the game that broken. But you can always...
broken.
You can always patch the game, which is really cool.
Or you could expect it to be working when you spend $60 on it.
Hopefully, it will be great. But I'm just saying, give them... They still have time. They still have time. If you're working at something... X amount of hours a day.
Yeah.
There's still time.
They still have time.
And I think it looks good.
The game itself doesn't look great. I mean, it looks like a direct Star Wars Dark Souls clone. And I mean, like...
What is the problem
like hardcore,
with that?
It just...
Personally.
It's not really what I wanted. I wanted my own thing. But...
Okay. And we talked about this as well. Because you kept telling me it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. So I'm like, okay, but what feels like Star Wars to you? The Force Awakens? No, it's not The Force Awakens.
Force Unleashed.
The Force Unleashed.
That was okay.
Sorry.
Or Jedi Academy.
But is that what you're expecting? Like something that plays like The Force Unleashed?
No, I feel like Jedi Academy actually is what I want. But as far as like a Star Wars Jedi game, but all I'm saying is it feels like it's way too much carbon copy for Dark Souls. I mean, like, your droid is your Estus flask, and you get to save points and he recharges, and all the enemies respawn. I'm like, you can at least try to not make it Dark Souls with lightsabers here, guys. Just try.
Yeah, but Dark Souls is a really good formula.
It is, but you could do something to make it your own. And it seems like they've done nothing except slap Star Wars on it.
I understand, but to be fair, you haven't seen a lot of it.
No, but from what I can only do what I've seen. So once again, trying to like it, I'm still going to look into it more. But from what I saw, it was underwhelming. It was kind of like, it didn't look good. It looked very on rails.
And I'm super surprised considering how much you love Dark Souls.
Me too.
So
I
feel like
I'll play Dark Souls or I'll play Elden Ring when it comes out.
But it's really cool to have a franchise that you really enjoy that has a really good formula
and gets copied in other games.
Shadow
No,
of
it's not.
Mordor plays very similarly to Assassin's Creed and Batman.
Yes, but it didn't play
And
exactly
that's
like
not-
either one of them.
Oh,
though.
the combat is 100% Batman.
It's very similar, but it's not. The game itself is not 100% Batman. It's not a carbon copy of Batman.
I understand.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. I was
Mhm.
expecting to bring that up. It's very, very similar, but it also does its own thing. From everything I've seen and read about this, it's like, hey, cool, let's take that Miyazaki game and give it lightsabers. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's Miyazaki. I'm pretty sure it's Miyazaki, yeah.
Hmm.
Either way, whatever. Not Ghibli one, no, different one.
Yeah, I just, whenever I hear Miyazaki, I just think of Ghibli.
Yeah, he has a dark side. Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing.
And I'm
But
like, Miyazaki.
so, I still have
As if
faith
no other person has
in
that name.
Respawn, but my hype levels are just kind of like neutral now. They've gone from like, yes, Respawn making Star Wars to like, eh.
I don't know.
Because it still comes down to, man, it looks like they're playing it explosively safe. And EA is like, man, Battlefront 2 sucked. We need to Disney's going to take away the Star Wars license. We need to super play it safe, make a Dark Souls clone with Star Wars. People can eat that up. It's going to be great. And then that inherently isn't necessarily going to be bad,
Mhm.
but also it's not going to be anything super, super good.
I
because
think
it's
people
being-
are going to love it, though. And I think especially the Dark Souls people, which is really interesting. Well, I don't know.
Well, so
'cause
the
you
Dark
like
Souls people
both.
won't like it because it's Dark Souls, but easier. So the Dark Souls people are going to
Mhm,
rip it apart.
mhm. Well, is it confirmed that it's going to be easier?
It looks a lot easier, yeah.
Hmm.
All I'm saying is when developers play it super safe,
Mhm.
it's almost never been a good thing.
Look, to me, this is how I see it. If the story is really good and the formula, the gameplay formula
bro,
is
there
really
ain't been a
good,
good Star Wars story in a long time.
Shush.
Okay?
Then I feel
That's
like
the last thing I expect.
oh man, then I feel like it's gonna be fine. And
We'll-
as long as
we'll
it's
see.
enjoyable, that's all that matters.
I said I still have faith, but it's a lot more tempered now by the reality that is EA
Mhm.
possibly
Mhm.
making them rush something up that's not quite up to Respawn standards. But we'll see. But that's it for EA for the most part.
Mhm.
Everything else from them is like whatever, skip on to day 2 or day 1 officially, I guess, because EA Play wasn't even at E3. It
Uh-huh.
was it just happened to be like
It was his
down the
own thing.
street.
Interesting.
Yeah, where they had tents and yeah, it was pretty hilarious because they had nothing new to show for the most part.
No.
So moving on to Microsoft.
Mhm.
Microsoft, the big heavy hitter on their own at E3 this
Mhm,
year,
mhm.
expecting lots of big things.
You know what though? I think they did a good job.
We'll get there. Hang on,
Mhm.
we'll get there. Let's talk about the show, right? So they opened off with the Outer Worlds. Nothing new, but it looks like a cool game.
It does. That game looks so cool.
Yeah, coming October 25th. It's think Fallout. It's more or less Fallout in space from the guys who made New Vegas. They're saying it's going to be a lot more linear,
Mhm.
a lot less just big open world, which I am a-okay fine with. That works great for me. I've talked before how the sense of humor looks good. It looks a bit Rick and Morty, but this latest trailer looked pretty good still, so it's okay. I'm definitely going to give it a shot. I'm a-okay down with it. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot else there, but it's coming in like 6 months. So yeah, it's also one of the few games on here that is coming this year.
I'm so surprised. Honestly. I don't know. I didn't expect it.
It doesn't look
I
like
didn't
a
expect it
super
this
huge
year.
game
Mhm.
in scope, and they've been working on it for a while, so I can get it. I see it. Oh boy. So here we go. Ninja Theory, the amazing team behind Heavenly Sword and Senua's Sacrifice and DMC. As much as I rat on that game, if it wasn't a Devil May Cry game, it was amazing. If you just remove it from Devil May Cry, what are you staring at me for? What?
You love Devil May Cry.
Yes, but DMC was a horrible Devil May Cry game.
I see.
It was an amazing game.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it, but it wasn't
just,
a good Devil May
it
Cry
wasn't
game.
your
Yes,
Dante.
Exactly,
I get it. It's
exactly.
fine.
Hashtag not my Dante.
I get it.
but the game itself mechanically was still glorious. Like, oh my God, so good. So they're making an Overwatch clone. And I was just sitting there with my jaw scraping on the carpet, like, why would you do this?
But you don't know. It could be really fun.
You're right. It could.
And I thought the characters actually
like
seemed really funny.
Crap.
What?
It looks like Battleborn 2.
I thought Buttercup was great.
God's sake. The character designs look bland and uninspired and not very
think
interesting.
so.
Like I was just looking at like, man, it looks the same thing when I saw Battleborn. I'm like, man, who came up with these character designs? Some of these look okay, and some of them look passable, and some look just straight up bad.
I feel like the character designs were just fine.
Like the cybernetic kiss rocker guy with the flamethrower for a throat. That looks kind of cool. I think Buttercup looks stupid.
I thought she looked
like
really
she's riding on a
funny.
motorcycle unicycle thing, and it's like no.
I thought that was
and
hilarious.
then these other name. Okay, what were the other characters?
I don't know.
Name me 2 other characters you thought were cool.
Those are the
and
only 2 that
memorable.
I can think of.
Exactly.
But I remember, but that's not really fair because I have a terrible memory.
No, but see, if I were to remember, this is not fair now. But if I were to say I'd go back and remember the Overwatch trailer, I'd be like, I could remember like half of those people because they were all original and unique and cool.
Okay, but to be fair, they basically put out tiny Pixar movies for each Overwatch character.
Yeah, but that's now.
You can't
When the game
compare.
first came out, there weren't any of those. There was like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
After the first trailer, I was like, wow, that robot with a machine gun looks cool, and that guy with the visor looks cool, and that crazy sniper with the grappling
There
hook
were
looks
like
cool.
3 of those before that game came
It's
out.
just, all I'm saying is, from the get-go, that looked neat. And it looks like they're going in that exact same team battle direction thing with I just didn't care. And mind you, it's Ninja Theory. They are amazing at melee combat, and it is going to be a melee-based combat PvP game, so it might still be really, really good. But hopes are not high, so
Those
we'll see.
games generally aren't my cup of tea,
Mhm.
you know? But I think it would be fun to try it.
Fun
and
to
see.
try, but probably not to stick around. But we'll see. I mean, they are working on another game, which might be another good single player epic scope, hooray kind of thing, and that's cool. It's just like, yeah, Microsoft bought us, and this is the great thing we've been working on, and it's like, oh. I mean, once again, it's just not what I wanted. It's not what you expect from a studio renowned for their single player experiences.
But at the same time, and this is just my personal opinion, you have to think about Microsoft's demographic.
I'm aware.
And of course, Microsoft would ask them to do something that is
Allegedly,
a little
they were
bit
already working on
a
this
little bit more suited to their demographic.
before Microsoft bought them.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
But I mean, either way,
But it could
I want
still be really
developers to
good.
make what they want, you know. But I also want developers to make what is going to be good. So we'll see. You know, I'm going to keep my eye on it. All we saw was like a quick little. A lot of E3 was these quick little trailers and more info soon, more than I recall in recent years, actually. Because previous E3s have been a lot. You know, at least the past 2 or 3 years have been a lot of like pre-alpha gameplay kind of stuff to give you an idea of what the game is. This year was all CG trailers, or a lot of it, anyways. But we'll move along. Move along. So Ori and the Will of the Wisps officially coming out 2020. February 11th. A lot of games were 2020. This is going to be a very dry year, folks. But that game looks so pretty, and I didn't think it could look any prettier.
It does.
Oh my God, that game looks like a
I
picture
just
book.
hope this one isn't going to be sad, because this is why I could not get into the last Ori, because it is just heartbreaking. And
It's so good,
it's
though.
so pretty.
So good.
It's so pretty, but if it's going to be heartbreaking, I can't play it.
Well, I'm
It
going
was
to
like
play
Ni no Kuni. My refusal to play Ni no Kuni.
I'll be all over. You are playing
ever.
that.
It's not.
You're
no,
playing it.
It is not happening.
It's gonna
Like,
happen.
good luck, because it's not going to happen.
It's gonna. We will.
No,
we will
absolutely
make it happen.
not.
It's gonna be okay, but
I will play Ni no Kuni 2 if it's not sad, which I don't know. You know, that game,
you know what happens. Just
but
play it.
no, I cannot.
Oh my God.
I cannot. I can't.
Okay. Whatever.
I will be
Fine.
broken forever.
Too late. So Ori looks fantastic. It's a shame we have to wait almost another full year to play it, but you know, whatever. It's gonna be good. I'll play Bloodstained until then. It's fine.
Yeah.
So this was surprising. Minecraft Dungeons coming in spring 2020.
Okay. I am not a Minecraft person, and you know this.
I know
Like,
this.
Minecraft is not my cup of tea.
It is not.
But this is awesome. I will play this.
Because it's a
will
blatant
play
Diablo
this.
rip, which
Yes,
is great.
Which
but-
is Diablo is fantastic, and it's the best. So I'm up for playing any game that plays like Diablo, honestly.
it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's still got that admittedly ugly, blocky voxel Minecraft art style, which I guess it's kind of the point. But when you aren't using it for the building, I'm kind of like, why? Why would you? I get it because they want, you know, it's a Minecraft game, so people are going to buy it for the Minecraft thing. But
Yeah.
because there's no building. Confirmed, there is no building at all.
That's not a problem to me, though.
No, it's just weird that it's there then. But you know, there is no class system, at least in like set in stone. Like you don't pick a barbarian or you don't pick a necromancer.
That's a little weird.
Several RPGs of this, ARPGs, where you items you grab and the weapons you use determine your ability sets.
See. So you don't have to stick to one thing.
Nope.
I think that actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty spiffy. So items give you different abilities. You get relics that give you different spell type powers. It's been kind of vague for the most part so far, but it sounds pretty cool. I said visually the game looks like crap, but Minecraft has never been about the looks.
Yeah, it's Minecraft.
Yes, so this is one of the cases where this game is going to be playable. It's not visually stunning, but it kind of sticks to its art style, and they might do some cool stuff with the particle physics and everything like that. So we'll have to see. Once again, it's going to be at least a year till it comes out.
Oh my gosh.
So who knows?
I'm willing to play this though.
They showed Star Wars again. Didn't show a whole lot new about it. It was just there. I actually wrote everything again because I forgot that I wrote it up here. So we're going to move on from all of that.
Okay.
Another
What the hell? Yeah.
So Blair Witch, the game.
This is so weird.
Hey kids, have you ever heard of a movie called The Blair Witch Project from 1999?
Was it 99?
I don't remember, but it was a long time ago.
Or was it 1997?
Something like that. I saw it with my parents. So that's how long ago it was. It's getting a game. I mean, it's gotten games before, and the games are all bad. But...
This is really cool. And it's funny because we've talked about this before, where I feel like...
Oh, that's right. 96. Yeah, you're right.
I feel like this spawned a bunch of terrible movies.
A found footage
but also
subgenre.
A bunch of really good movies. Do you remember that found footage movie called Quarantine?
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was based off of a was it Spanish movie?
I think it was like Spanish.
Wreck? Or Italian?
Was it Spanish or was it Italian?
I think, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I'll look it up later, but I think it was either Spanish or Italian, but it was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
So there are some, I'm trying to think of another one and I can't. But I mean,
Cloverfield was fun.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I liked Cloverfield when we saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. But
so I personally hated the movie, but we're not talking about the movie, we're talking about the game.
Well, I think Blair Witch is really cool for what it inspired in others.
Yes.
Especially making an independent, a low budget, horror film.
Shoestring budget, yeah.
Yeah, it is really cool. So
that's why you get Blumhouse now, making lots of really cheap movies. But like I said, we'll move on.
I do dig Blumhouse, but I will definitely try this, though I don't think I'm going to be able to play it.
The game itself, I'm definitely going to play because it's from the people behind Layers of Fear, which is a really good game. I have yet to play the second one. But yeah, Layers of Fear was a phenomenal, freaky, mind-bending kind of game. So it sounds like they're planning on doing the same thing with this, where you find you're an ex-cop and you're looking for kids who've been lost in the woods, and you find these VHS tapes and you can watch them, and that you can actually kind of play through what happens on the VHS tape. So they mention they like things shifting areas and everything. So just to kind of keep you on your toes and keep you confused.
Yeah.
And you have a puppy. Its name is Bullets. And they confirmed you can pet little puppy named Bullet.
This
and
is
if
amazing.
it dies, there will be protests and just riots in the street. It's dead. It's as good as dead.
I mean, is Blair Witch?
I swear, if the dog dies, we riot in the street, brothers and sisters.
Blair Witch has never been my favorite, but I think this is a really cool concept for a game. And I will definitely try it. The only thing that makes me upset is I think it's going to make me sick.
Yeah, you'll have to watch me playing it.
Yeah, and that's probably going to make me even more sick.
or Inpatient. You're going to watch me screaming like a baby, go, look at
which
him.
is so amazing and satisfying.
Yeah, I hate you. Okay, Britt, I'm going to ask you to remain calm. All right? I need you to remain calm.
I just can't. My smile's so big
so
right now.
On the last episode, we talked about Cyberpunk 2077.
Indeed.
Wanting release date. And at that point, I thought to myself, there's no way this game could look any cooler in my eyes.
And on previous podcasts, we have always talked about a certain someone. Matt and I have...
A beautiful man with flowing hair. He's been in Bill and Ted. He's been in The Matrix.
A gift to mankind.
He's the nicest man in Hollywood. He's also a vampire, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Because now he looks just the same.
Oh man.
In 2077.
That's
yes,
funny.
if you've been living under a rock and didn't know, Keanu Reeves is now in Cyberpunk 2077.
This is so funny. And so we were watching E3 together, and I swear when Keanu Reeves came onto the screen, I was like screaming at the TV like a little child. And I was like, I bet you people that listen to the podcast are probably like, oh my God, Brittany's going to freak out. Because,
She was.
if you listen to previous podcasts, I am a very big Keanu fan. So.
Yeah. And he's like your Cortana, at least for part of the game.
It's just
because
rad.
he's Johnny Silverhand, who was a character in 2020. So he's actually dead, but he exists as some kind of like AI. What's the word? Construct.
I'm totally fine with this. AI Keanu, we can be buddies, and we can go,
That just means he's
do
with
things.
you forever. And it's like, I love you.
Absolutely. It's
I love you so
100% amazing. And I already desperately wanted this game, and now if it's even possible, I want it even more.
And I feel bad because it's not confirmed yet, but if Keanu's one of several possible AIs, no one else is going to get a lick of attention. Nobody.
Oh my goodness, no.
Like who else?
No
who
way.
else realistically would be able to draw you away from Keanu Reeves?
No
like
way.
if you think like expansively, like who else? Like if they got like a Patrick Stewart AI or something.
Oh
I'd be
my
like,
God.
that'd be
Okay.
kinda cool.
Okay.
Like
That would be
like a
close.
snarky British or like a. I don't know what's another like really good like British actor that could get to be like the posh British AI.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Ooh!
Yes, or Loki dude. What's his face?
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes, like that would.
Oh my
mind you, Keanu would still just stomp on their cute little
Absolutely.
British butts,
I would still pick Keanu Reeves. I love
would
you
be
so
cool.
much, Benedict Cumberbatch. You are an amazing actor, but
I just love how they kept him secret.
Keanu-
Because he's been involved in the
How did
project
they
for
do
like I think
that?
like 8 or 9 months. They said,
in this day and age, I am super surprised and very impressed
Yep.
because that's crazy.
and then he walked out on the floor. Did you just the crowd
Oh my
just
God.
going ballistic?
That
And he
was
was just
so
like,
great.
"Hi."
I know.
He
It was
looked
so
happy.
wonderful.
I swear he was drunk.
That
I
dude,
swear.
no, that dude, he's just high on life, okay? That dude that was like, "You're beautiful" or whatever.
It's like you're
or,
breathtaking.
oh yeah, you're breathtaking.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah,
amazing.
he was like, "You're breathtaking."
that
Yeah,
was
just
so funny.
the object of many a meme, but
He's an angel,
yeah.
and we just need to worship at the altar that is Keanu.
Mhm. And very importantly,
And I don't care what you say. He was amazing in Dracula.
he was amazingly awful in Dracula. Oh man,
I'll
like,
still fight you all day, every day about that.
that was like near Dick Van Dyke levels of awful.
It was not. And you know what? Dick Van Dyke was just fine.
Dick Van Dyke won an award for a horrible accent. Okay.
His accent was
And I'll take Dick
adorable.
Van Dyke over Keanu because Dick was at least having fun with it. Keanu was playing it serious, like, and then I was on a train. Oh no,
His accent was
Mary
not
Poppins step in
bad.
time.
It was not
It was really
bad.
bad.
It was not bad.
Whatever.
Okay.
April 16th, 2020. Write that day down. You won't see either
Nope.
one of us.
Nope.
We gonna be busy. I gotta upgrade my PC because you better believe I'm playing it on my computer in like maximum shiny.
Oh my god! And
pretty
it just
graphics.
looks so gorgeous. Like all of the neons.
The
Yes.
neons, just
The
all of
neons.
them, just gem in the misfits.
It's just. I need this. I
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah, it was pretty. And we didn't get to see the demo. We heard about the demo. We're going to see the actual demo at Gamescom in the next I think like a month or so from now.
And
so that's not
didn't they
bad.
do something sneaky with this
There
trailer
was a
too?
secret message. It was like a link that led to a Dropbox with another letters, just talking about funny stuff.
I
and
love that so much. I think that's so cool.
they know how to build hype.
Yeah.
They know how to build hype.
It's clever, and I feel like they're having fun with it, which I really enjoy because I feel like a lot of the time with games nowadays, it some of that is lost,
Very much so.
and I feel
Very
like
much
with
so.
them you can just tell the passion is there, and then they like to throw in those little things for fun, and I feel like you can tell they really love what they do.
You can and CD Projekt Red is just the best developer in existence right now, where they give so much. We'll talk about it later in the Nintendo section, but like the base version of the game has so much stuff in it, and when other developers. You're lucky if you get a disc in the physical copy. It's just nice where you're going to have the book and you're going to get stickers. Like that's just the extra mile. I'm going to give you my money. I'm going to give my money more than once, which I'm going to talk about later on in Nintendo.
Absolutely.
Like they're going to get my money for something else again.
And I feel like it's just really cool because I feel like it's 100% obvious that the passion is there.
Yes.
And I really like
And
that.
it's smart because they know that a good business gets business. You don't have to, have unskippable ads in your basketball game, which I didn't include on here, but have you heard about that? 2K19 having
heard from
unskippable
you,
ads?
yes.
People have paid $60 have to watch ads now.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I would not be happy.
Low blow. That's
I
when you
would
stop
not be
buying their
happy.
games at that point. But okay, so moving on, Battletoads. Battletoads coming out sometime 2019. I gotta say, I'm gonna play it. But
Don't say this.
Man,
Don't say
it looks repulsive.
No, it doesn't.
It has just this disgusting, I want to say like modern cartoon
Oh
style
my
where it
goodness.
looks like Rick and Morty or Adventure Time, and it's just really
Nothing is wrong.
ugly.
Nothing is wrong with Adventure Time.
It's ugly. It's ugly. The show's funny. It's ugly. It's ugly. It's like slightly a step up from South Park. It looks disgusting. You can't tell the toads apart. There's too much crap going on the screen at once. Like, I'm going to play it, but my God, Microsoft, why don't you just give the guys at Cuphead a couple $1 million? Be like, here, make a really pretty game.
Dude, if the Cuphead dudes made Battletoads, that would be so amazing.
Just so the art direction is very disappointing, but it's still Battletoads. I'm still going to play it.
Battletoads?
Battletoads.
I feel like it's not that bad. Okay.
It's and seeing it in motion is always kind of like,
And Adventure Time is great.
It's fine, but it's ugly.
It's not
I
ugly.
hate that art style. I
Adventure
hate it.
Time is not ugly.
It's ugly. It's trashy.
Oh my god.
I mean, like not to like.
I feel like this is hurting my feelings.
I feel
right
bad because
now.
I'm like bringing down. The show itself is really funny.
Because I feel like my art style
But you know, like
works
'cause, like,
really
'cause,
well
like,
with that
Steven,
type.
like Adventure Time and Rick and Morty and Steven Universe and all these shows that are admittedly really funny. They all have that same like.
Steven Universe is great
Like
too.
it's like cheap Adobe Flash.
Oh
Kind
my
of
god,
like,
it is nowhere on that level.
well, compare it to stuff from the 80s or the 90s. Where
You can't. The
no,
style.
because it looks so much better.
No, the styles are just different. It would be unfair to compare the styles because the styles are
The
different.
same thing works with anime now, where everything has that like nice digital moe blob thing, where it looks so much better in the 80s. And yes, I'm old, and yes, I'm bitter, and yes, you're gonna deal with it.
Oh man, it's really not that bad.
But it's just ugly, and Battletoads is just reflective of that ugly Fortnite art style, where it's like just like bleh, and just like let's just vomit on a crayon drawing and see what it looks like. But
What? It is nowhere near that awful.
it's not that bad, but it sure as heck isn't nice. It could have been a whole lot prettier. You know, when you like right before when you saw Ori, and then you're expecting games like Cuphead, and then you see this just mess. You know, it looks like that. I don't know if it's the same art, but it looks like the same people who did the newer Ninja Turtles cartoon, which also looks disgusting. It just ain't pretty. I see you just looking at me like, man.
I'm just gonna let you go.
I just couldn't believe it, man.
I mean, there's nothing that says you cannot enjoy these cartoons and old 80s cartoons as well.
No, there's not. All I'm saying
They're
is
just different.
it feels done, and it's nice that we've had it. And can we move on to something that's not gross now, please? Like, can we have another trend shift to something that's attractive and, you know, has a bit of a sense of like craft and style and doesn't all look the same?
You love, and I love his art style. Jonan Vasquez is
Yes.
amazing, but he kind of has a similar art style as well.
He does.
If you like that,
But it's still kind of unique, and it also
Yeah,
came a
it
lot
is.
earlier than all this mess, and that
That's
might
true.
sound hipster, but it's like, cool, we've had enough of this. Can we please move on now?
his style is exceptionally
It's-
unique, though.
it's like
even,
Call of Duty,
even so,
Where
yeah.
Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare, was a phenomenal game. It was great. I'm saying that now. Like, it was really good.
Mhm.
I don't need more. Or Assassin's Creed.
Well,
I don't need more of that either.
I mean, but plenty of people disagree.
I know, but that's or Gears.
I get it, though.
You
It's
know.
just not. I get it.
Like, we don't need 12 sequels to a game or Final. I would. What's the word for? I would rebuke every Final Fantasy game from now on if they would stop making sequels to everything else. I'd be like, you know what? It's worth the sacrifice. You know, they make it a law. You can't make X number of sequels to a game or a movie, or you get fined.
Oh my god.
How do we get on the subject? Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Because think about it, they would stop making Pokemon, they would stop making Zelda, they would stop making Mario, they would stop making Assassin's
No,
Creed.
and then it would be a sad world.
People would have to think of something new.
No, whatever.
Imagine.
No,
Imagine.
but there's nothing wrong with having these
No,
amazing
but just
franchises
think for
live
a second.
on.
What if people were like, you have to do something different?
There's no way.
Go.
There's no way. Everything.
Like, you can make a new two-dimensional platformer that's not Mario Brothers.
I mean, but what I'm saying though is, it's still going to be reminiscent of something that's existed before it.
True, but not carbon copies.
You can't, it's not going to be like truly 100% original. Everything is inspired by something.
Yes, but I have more faith in the and this
you
is
know?
weird because this is me actually being kind of optimistic. I have more faith in the human imagination than you do, apparently. I still think there's lots of room to do something new.
That's not true. But, I just feel like so much has been done. Everything, even if it's not a conscious thought, you are inspired by something. Like, I am inspired by Japanese animation and a bunch of stuff that,
Apparently, Adventure Time, and I've just insulted your artwork, and I apologize,
I
because your
know!
artwork looks really nice.
Thanks. I was like, my feelings are hurt, because you always tell me, like, oh, your style lends really well to BMO or whatever. Because I did a BMO not too long ago, and I'm like, you're mean. I have a very cartoony,
I'm just saying,
illustrative, kind of style.
I think it's time for something else, just as a whole in the world of like animation. I'm once again, I miss the days of like Don Bluth and classic Disney people.
Of course,
I get it.
Don Bluth, you just can't even compare. And classic Disney again.
It's a dead genre. When those guys are dead, no one's gonna know how to do it anymore.
That's not true. I mean, Disney, they've always followed, have you noticed all of the artists, they followed that Disney style.
Mm-hmm.
There is a style that Disney has. Those artists still
Have you
create
seen the
artwork.
Nightmare that is Mickey Mouse right now?
I've seen it.
It's terrifying. It looks nothing like classic Mickey.
I'm talking about like the way they draw princesses, and stuff like that. It's all, you can tell. If you look at it, it doesn't matter if it's Rapunzel, it doesn't matter if it's Ariel. You know it's Disney.
I get it, but this is not a movie show. I'm going to turn it into one if I keep going. I'm sorry. Battletoads. I'm still going to play it. It's got a 3D turbo tunnel. That sounds nightmarish. Why not? So here's just a quick little thing. I didn't write down much for this, but RPG time, The Legend of Right.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
It's a game.
I was a little confused.
About a game being written by a kid in class. So
I think that's a really
he's
cute...
writing like a tabletop RPG in his notebook. Aww. And you're playing that as he's writing it. So that's why some of it's colored, some of it's in pencil and everything, and there's different designs.
That's really cool. It kind of reminds me of like a Little Big Planet.
Very much a Little Big Planet, or the other game that they did, Media Monocle did with the paper craft stuff. What was it called?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Tearaway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very much like that, but with kind of slight RPG elements. So the music reminded me very heavily. I'm like, is this like a Dragon Quest, but like 2D, but so that looks cool, but don't know a whole lot about it. Yeah,
I felt like the trailer was really cool, but it wasn't quite clear on what it was.
A lot of the trailers,
so I was a little like, what's going on here? But I think that's a really cute concept, and I will definitely play it.
So they talked about Game Pass for a bit. And I won't talk about it very long. Game Pass is for PC. It's getting its own thing, which is spiffy, I guess, because I do most of my Microsoft stuff on PC, but I don't really worry about Game Pass because if I like a game, I'll buy it. But it's nice to have an option. They have a Game Pass Ultimate where you get both versions for, I forget how much it was, but it wasn't a lot. It was I think it was like, what, $15 a month or something like that?
It was, I thought
surprisingly
it was $10.
Reasonable. I think for both it was $15.
Oh, okay. That's really not bad.
No. I mean, when you think about it,
especially considering it's
you
Microsoft.
Already, like, up to this point, you already had it for both anyways, but there are a lot more games you can play on PC now also, which is nice. So the fact that they're doing it, great. Why not? Microsoft, I think, is aware that a lot of their gamers don't own an Xbox.
Yeah, I also think that a lot of people, and they may start to realize this, are getting really tired of subscription-based everything. Like,
you wouldn't know it from this show.
Let me tell you, that's true. But let me tell you, I started thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I pay for Hulu. I pay for Netflix.
I thought you canceled your Hulu.
I pay for Prime.
Hey, wait a minute.
I pay for Shudder through Prime. I pay for Stars.
And they're coming to take you away right now.
Really? And I'm like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I will absolutely 100% pay for Disney.
There were a lot of subscription things here, and I was like, I'm not going to do all these.
Maybe they're starting to realize also with so much competition, it's a smart idea to have something that's super affordable.
And they talked about their streaming service, not very much, but they are talking about what essentially is going to be direct communication for the Google Stadia, which I still think is going to flop so hard. It's ridiculous. But
an interesting concept. I think if anybody can make something successful or survive, it's going to be Google.
Or Microsoft. I think
Microsoft
has a much more embedded presence where
but,
if they offer the same stuff for less prices, you're gonna eat them alive.
But I still don't know. We're way ahead of things based. Remember the Ouya when the Ouya came out?
Oh.
We weren't ready for the Ouya.
Well, the Ouya
the
Ouya was a piece of crap too.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if we're going to be ready for this still.
Yeah.
But I think if anybody can make it successful, it's going to be Google.
I like owning my games.
Yeah, and I like that too. We've talked about that many times. It's nice to have a physical copy.
But it's going away. Eventually, it's going away.
I think there's always, we're going to fight about this again. I think there's always going to be a market.
There'll be a market, but eventually games will be digital only. It happened for PC, it'll happen to everything else.
I don't think so.
It's like Charlton Heston and Armageddon. It happened before. It will happen again.
I really don't think so.
Give another generation or two. You're gonna have.
It's
you
gonna
already
be a
have a
market.
digital only Xbox.
And then also, a digital only Xbox that wasn't successful. Also,
was it not successful? Did it come out and just disappear?
Yes.
Oh, whoops.
It came and it's gone.
Well, I mean, in certain parts of the country or of the world, though, I do think like digital only is becoming a thing, and it's gonna be a thing. Not right away. There's always gonna be freaks like us.
I understand, but there's always. I mean, people collect VHS still. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it's never gonna die.
I don't get that.
It's cool. It's nostalgic.
It's cool, but VHS looks really bad.
Because when I was being babysitted, I think. Babysitted when I was being babysat by my VCR and horror movies.
Man,
no,
childhood.
That's terrible.
Overshare.
Right. It was VHS. You know,
when my mom was off in Nam fighting the war.
Oh, stop! That's not what I meant. She was at work, but every time I walked into a Blockbuster to rent movies. They were VHSs. It's cool to have that in your hands again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, sure,
Even
Blu-ray.
if it looks grainy and repulsive.
4K looks amazing. Like
too amazing in some cases. Looking at Pacific Rim in every movie with CGI ever.
So true. Am I going to choose, if I had the option, if somebody was like, you can watch Blade Runner on VHS or you can watch it in 4K? Baby, I'm going to pick the 4K.
Bro. Laserdisc. Thank you.
But it's still cool to have that every now and then. And there's stuff that you can't get. Scary Fairy Tales. I only have that on VHS. No one even knows what that is. It's not going to exist on Blu-ray.
It's because it was practically a bootleg.
I know. It was, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Okay, back on games. I'm gonna hear about this from David. I'm gonna hear about it. He's like, y'all kept talking about movies. Talked about that. All right. Another left hook out of nowhere. This was if I had to say the most surprising things of the show, this would be up there. Flight Simulator.
Oh my God,
Whoa!
I was so shocked.
And not like World War II flight simulator or space.
Yeah.
Here's your Cessna, bro. That kind of flight simulator.
Which is amazing. I was really excited about
I haven't
this.
seen since the year 2000 kind of stuff.
I know.
Whoa.
I'm definitely going to be buying that, and because you know me.
Yes.
So
and you're going to crash into every building.
that is not true.
But it looks
that is
cool.
Not true.
Made with satellite imaging, Xbox One and PC. Sorry, go ahead.
That's right. You weren't there when I did my Discovery flight,
I
were
was
you?
not. I didn't want to be in a plane with you.
I did a fantastic job. I will have you know.
Good.
I flew a Cessna Skyhawk.
I'll watch you from the
and
ground.
it was amazing. And the teacher even complimented me. He was like, wow, you're
I can't imagine.
And I'm like, I play flight simulator.
How do you I don't get see the same I can get kind of concerned when you drive because you can't really see over the steering wheel that well.
No, it's cool. And it was funny because he was lecturing me as we were going, and he's like, taking off and landing is usually the hardest part. And he's like, this is how you, and I was like, boo, here we go.
You were just like,
and he was like, okay, cool. And I'm like, yeah, I play video games. Just kidding. He's like, oh, God help us. My mom was crying in the back because she's so terrified to fly. And I love it. I think it's the funniest thing ever. So can you imagine her daughter flying a plane who's never flown a plane before? Yeah, she was
terrified.
She was terrified. It was so
I can imagine.
funny.
That's why I didn't go. I was like, nope.
It was so fun though. One day I will have that pilot's license.
Cool.
Anyway, sorry.
So it's coming
Tangent.
though. I'm definitely gonna get it. I have a flight stick for the non-existent Star Citizen for my computer, so I mean it's gonna.
What happened to that?
It's still coming one day.
What is
Allegedly.
Is that the one where no?
That's the one that was
Where you
Kickstarter that
have
made
to
more money than
buy
the Kickstarter
a million
game.
ships.
Yes.
Okay, I'm confusing that with Elite Dangerous.
No, that one's still around. That game's
There you
still
go.
fun.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, this is the one that's never coming out ever and never going to be done.
Why would they? People keep paying $500 for ships.
Pretty much.
There's no way. They're going to keep milking that as long as they can.
Do you know that a guy that sued them to get a refund after not getting it, he ended up buying more ships because he has poor self-control?
Wow.
Good times.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. But Flight Simulator looks awesome. Definitely not for everybody, but props to Microsoft for trying something that won't be a trillion seller.
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed with them for that. That's awesome.
I think that's really cool, and I think the world is ready for another flight sim.
So my seat just
It's
made
better
a
than
weird
Goat
clicking
Simulator.
sound. So for the record, if I just disappear off screen, you'll know why. I'm not that fat.
Have you ever played that?
What?
Goat Sim?
Goat Simulator? No.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
What do
I
you
watched
even-
videos of
What
it.
do
Looks
you even do? What?
play games that have a point.
I mean, I guess.
Like, it looks really fun, but like I feel like if you,
You know
watch
what? I
the
bet you I'd
videos
love
of
it.
it, yeah, if you watch videos of it, I feel like you kind of don't need to play the game.
Yeah.
It looks hilarious, but it's one of those kind of like just like mess around, like haha kind of games. And I only play
Yeah.
serious games, like
Oh,
like
man.
Disgaea
Oh, no.
or Bloodstained or
But Prinny is so cute.
I
What
can't
was
take it seriously.
that Prinny game for the PSP?
I can be the hero. I get to be the hero, dude, or whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my god, it's so cute. So cute. Sorry.
so good. Apparently, they're actually in big financial trouble. That studio.
No.
So when Disgaea 4 comes out for the Switch, which it is, buy it. I'm buying
They
it.
are not.
Yes, they are.
Oh, that makes me so sad. Okay, we're gonna get 2 copies.
Okay, good. Well, not a problem. I'm getting it for sure. So good. Those are my time sink games, man. When I got nothing to do and I
Yeah.
can't sleep, guess what I'm playing?
Yeah, you've purchased every Disgaea,
Yeah,
so
it's not gonna be Bloodstained on the Switch, that's for sure. Oh well. So on PC, Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition. I know you've never touched an Age of Empires
I have
game.
not.
A lot of us have. It's a classic RTS. It's going to be really shiny, nice, pretty 4K resolution. Otherwise, it looks to be more or less untouched.
Mainly because I'm terrible at RTS.
I tried to get you to play StarCraft
Except
once.
little Runling in Star
Rolling Run, yeah.
which is not even RTS
No,
anything.
It's just the controls.
You're just
click,
a little
click, click.
thing that runs to music.
A few people know what Runling Run is, where
Yeah.
it's a custom map in StarCraft 2 where you had to essentially run into this more or less like a spiral, and you had to dodge probes, or they would like knock you out. You could level up, and you were just different versions of Zergs.
It was so addicting.
And there was really bad like nightcore music.
Yes.
I played it for hours.
That's the only part of StarCraft I played.
However,
That's not true, but
yeah, we tried to do a little bit of PvP, and you were okay, and then you got frustrated.
It's not for me. I mean, the only RTS I can 100% no.
No,
I mean, would that even count? I was gonna say Eternal Poison, but that's
No.
like a strategy game.
that's more of a tactics.
That's
thing,
more
yeah.
of a tactical.
RTS specifically
yeah.
is always happening.
Yes, because
Why I figured you'd be better
Eternal
at-
Poison is not in real time.
No,
Neither
it's turn-based.
Is, yeah, it's turn-based. So
Well, I figured you'd be better at chess, but you're awful at chess.
I'm not that bad at chess.
You're that bad at
Look,
chess.
Home.
You're
Really?
that bad.
Because I almost beat you.
Because I'm not that good at
Because
chess.
I almost.
Yes, because I was
almost
moving
beat you.
pieces while doing this practically, and I'm not that good.
Just saying.
It's she bought a Nightmare Before Christmas chess set, and it
Mhm.
was never going to get used. I'm like, let's play chess. She didn't even know how. She keeps trying to move pawns to the left.
I'm just trying to
He's
get
like,
away
what's
with.
this piece do?
Hey, look.
Does it turn into a rocket ship?
Look, Andy Warhol said, "Art is anything that you can get away with." Right? I was just trying to apply that to life.
Well, thankfully you did not with me. I'm like, nah. Sorry, the king can't do backflips. Like, but it's Jack Skellington. I don't care. No. I feel like that, and this is totally a board game show now, but I feel like the black pieces or the green pieces in my
Yeah.
case got really just kind of screwed. Like, you got all the
Yeah.
cool, like Jack Skellington and the mayor,
Oh my god, that
and
was so cool.
whatever the heck his dog's name was.
Zero.
Zero, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got Oogie Boogie, and then
Which Oogie Boogie's the
yes,
bomb.
but then I got Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and a
They're
bunch-
cute too.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like,
But the pieces, yeah,
they aren't
are
nearly as-
definitely
yeah,
better.
or
for,
innate or large or
Yeah.
it's like but whatever. Back onto video games. So Age of Empires, cool. They acquired Double Fine, which I guess is just them. They're once again they're doubling down hardcore for the next generation. We saw some Psychonauts 2 footage. I put this on here because people like Psychonauts 2. I didn't
Is
really.
that really how it's spelled?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just typed it in really quickly. This was tablet typing, so I've had to go through and spell check some things. Computer's like, I don't know what that word is. Psychonauts. I've just never, I don't know. I'm sure Psychonauts is good. I've never been able to get into it. I get it. I know I'm missing out. I'm sorry. I'll get to it someday. Because watching 2, I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know. I'm confused. Where's Jack Black? Where's Brutal Legend 2?
Dude, that would be so cool. Yeah.
It might happen. Who knows? But
that'd be awesome.
Then we can just skip by this. More Lego Star Wars. No one cares.
Hey, man. This is what I was going to say. I love the Lego games. I think they're really, yeah. Would I be able to play them all the time back to back? No. But it's really cool to play Lego games because they're fun. And most of them are co-op. And you can play them in different, different franchises, which I think is cool. So I love being able to play the Lord of the Rings ones, and I love Batman and, of course, Harry Potter. They
just got so old, and they are just really easy.
I can understand how you think that formula is run into the ground. Yeah. That I can give you that. But occasionally, just if you feel like playing something that's fun that you don't really want to think too hard about.
So essentially, it's a game you give to your 2-year-old.
No, not necessarily.
Where they're like, here, you can't die.
Not necessarily, because I really feel like you, as an adult, can enjoy that game as well. Like, I used to play those games with my little brother all the time, and it was fun for both of us.
So essentially, it is a game, though, that it's very... The difficulty of speaking is compounded by the lack of difficulty for the Lego games. But the difficulty is specifically very, very kind of crimped, shall we say, for it to be an all ages kind of thing, which still kind of bugs me because when I was a kid, I played some really difficult games and I figured it out.
Yeah.
Like you made it work, and I guess they just it seems like developers think kids are dumb now, and they're not.
No, I just think that it's different. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah, I guess so. But we'll move on. So Project Z, I forget, it's called like Kakarot or something like that, but Dragon Ball Action RPG. Don't know a whole lot about it. I didn't see much about this.
I love this because you put like RPG.
Action RPG. Third person. So I think it's going to be a lot like Legacy of Goku for the GBA, but third person 3D, obviously. Sounds cool. I think Dragon Ball Z is kind of played out, personally.
I think the Dragon Ball Z fighting games. But if this one's going to be like, if there's like a little bit more to it, but it's still a fighting game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it's like an action RPG, so you can like level up. And...
Yeah, but there's more to it. I feel like this has the potential to be really cool.
It looks cool. I think
Xenoverse was really good.
Yes.
It was.
I wouldn't go that far.
I thought it was really good.
It was
You loved it when it first came out.
Fun, but it was pretty broken. But Xenoverse also had a spin because you could make your own character, and there were a whole lot of what if missions.
Yeah.
This it's going to be just the same old Kakarot kind of thing, and it's over 9,000 and boom, and then the blah, and then in 5 minutes, and all this stuff. Like we've all seen that now. We all know what happens.
You should just put all of that together. Yes. Then you have Dragon Ball Z, the end.
Literally. Dodge! Everything. Okay?
Piccolo's the best, can I just say?
It looks good, but once again, I think we're going to be done after this. Or at least do an original story. This would be really cool if it was an original story.
You know what? I would really dig a Dragon Ball Z MMO.
I think they tried that.
Did they?
I don't remember. I can't remember.
There's no way.
I think there was. I don't know.
That didn't happen.
I'll have to look and see, but I don't remember.
That's so cool if it did.
They tried that kind of with Xenoverse because there were the big giant hub worlds and the group fights and everything. It was it's okay, but it just I don't know. The thing with Dragon Ball is it's fun, but it always has difficulty translating because you always have to inherently slow things way down, and you have to make it work so Krillin can beat up Goku, which let's face it, hasn't been possible since Dragon Ball, and. I get that. It's just the balance. It's like the DC Universe fighting game.
Yeah.
There's no way Harley Quinn could beat up Green Lantern.
Dude.
It makes no sense.
I mean, I'm sure there are ways, especially if you're Hal. She could best. I'm so sorry.
Okay, let's put it this way.
I love Hal Jordan,
let's say Joker versus Superman. I mean, it's just, and unless there was some serious woohoo going on there.
But I feel like that's believable because Joker is willing to cross lines that Superman never would.
But just in a but specifically in a one-on-one fisticuff kind of thing. Even in a one-on-one no tricks fight, Batman would be putty versus Superman, like just for a fact.
No way.
Yes.
But Batman
like
is
no
smarter.
tricks, just Batman versus Superman.
You mean if he wasn't
in an
allowed to use his toys?
Like literally, how is the game? Like just in an alley in Gotham City.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
If he wasn't allowed to use his toys?
Butcher
well,
him.
thankfully, that such a world doesn't exist, and Batman's
except for the video
best.
game. But that's all I'm saying. So it's you know the game itself is still really good. It's like weird things that aren't accurate have to be done in the name of balance. I feel like that is kind of how Dragon Ball Z
I feel
is.
like they've always made things like that work in comic books. So why?
Well, yeah, because there's always like a trick to it. Like during the Hush series when Superman was possessed by Poison Ivy.
Yeah, but you could have tricks throughout the game. You're so
yes, but in a
tricks.
fighting game, every time you do the match, there's a trick. Like it doesn't work for balance, kind of thing.
I get it.
Like in the DC Universe game, Batman can combo and knock out Superman by kicking him in the face. Or in the comic book, that would break his hand.
How did they do that in Injustice?
Injustice, the same thing.
Because I don't even remember.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, where they had like power armor. And
but
stuff,
he just can wear some kryptonite and he'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like he's.
I don't know.
Because if Superman is up against kryptonite, he only has that's his weakness. He's not Superman anymore. He doesn't even have Batman's smarts at that point.
Nope, he just got that little curl. That curl that'll save the day. The world, he's too good for that curl. It's so beautiful. You had that the other day,
I
by
know.
the way. I saw you
I saw you look at me.
I must protect the curl.
And I was like, is it still doing it? My hair.
It's not now. No, unfortunately, it's not. But so yeah, looks cool. I'm going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
When Dragon Ball is kind of the thing where it's kind of it's just like the series. It's like One Piece, where it's too much of a good thing, you know. And there's a point where I think it needs to kind of.
I see.
One Piece is way too much of a good thing. One Piece is a good thing, living long enough to see itself become the bad thing.
800 episodes is way too long unless you're Sailor Moon. Moving on.
Nope, too much either way. Anyways, moving on. 12 minutes. You remember this game? The top-down one in the apartments?
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, I have something to tell you. Like, you're pregnant. There's going to be a man who knocks on the door in a couple minutes, and he says you killed your father.
I'm so intrigued.
Yes.
I was hanging on that trailer like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I need to play this. When is that even coming out?
Sometime 2020. Like so many other games on this list.
It looks so good. I definitely want to play that because I want to know what's up.
Yep,
I want to know what's going on.
They're saying, man, I didn't correct this because I don't know what I was typing there. But okay, so 12 minutes. It's kind of like a Groundhog Day game. There's actually 2 games on here that reminded me of Groundhog Day. But there's this one. It's top down where it's you and your wife and things happen. Yeah, it was really weird. Oh, it reminds me of Facade. That's right. I wrote this on Facade. That really weird game from 2005-ish. Where it was a first-person game, then it was used AI learning. So if I showed you a video, remember with the really bad, but you were just a friend going over to a couple's house for dinner, and depending on what you did, the couple was arguing, and you could talk to them, and it would change, and there would always be a slightly different response. And mind you, this was probably like 13 years ago, but it was really cool, and every single time you did it was different. You could do all kinds of weird, like you could try to run away with the wife, try to run away with the husband, or or keep them together, or break them up, or just be a freak and get kicked out, and all this kind of crazy stuff. It reminds me kind of like that, where there are lots of different options because the game's very simple visually. There's lots of room to do stuff even for a smaller developer. So I'm looking way forward to this.
I keep thinking it gives me like not the style, but I guess like the story or the way the gameplay is kind of gives me Heavy Rain vibes.
Yeah,
which is really cool. Or do you remember that game Beyond Two Souls?
Yeah,
Beyond Two Souls.
Same studio.
Yeah.
Just like Detroit.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
You said that, so I have to.
Yeah, I know.
I have to.
But that looks cool. There is a Way to the Woods, or just Way to the Woods. It looks like Deer meets Abzu.
It looks really sad.
It does.
And so I'm not going to play it.
There's like the stag and its little baby deer.
I know.
And the stag has magical
what happens?
antlers.
And then I just remember this one scene where they're at a vending machine and she like gets it a snack or something.
Yeah. And there's like magical
I'm
fish swimming
sad.
around them and everything. And it looks like just one of those really pretty artsy exploration games where there's wolves and
but I hope it's not sad. If it's not sad, I will play it. Abzu was gorgeous.
And they're rescued by Shark Jesus at the end.
Shark Jesus was amazing. If Shark Jesus saves everyone in this game, it's fine.
Different developer.
I know.
I think like, please tell me it's going to be Shark Jesus just come like ripping out of the concrete.
But wouldn't that be cool?
That would be pretty cool. If you don't know who Shark Jesus is, by the way, you need to play Abzu.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
like the game's like $10 now.
It's
Just go buy it.
amazing.
It's
It is worth every penny. It's so good. It's not very long because, like you said, it's just
Yeah, you play
it's
it a
just
couple hours.
artsy
Yeah.
and just chill and really cool. And it tells its own story without handing you the story, which
Yeah.
I really appreciate actually.
It's very nice.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's beautiful. And then Shark Jesus
Shark Jesus.
wins the universe.
Praise Shark Jesus. Yeah.
So
Gears 5. And
Sorry.
now I sleep.
I was gonna be like Shark Jesus was in the Da Vinci Code.
Yes. The royal bloodline of Shark Jesus. It's in you.
Oh
You're
man.
half shark.
Oh no. Oh no.
So Gears 5.
Gears 5.
Eh.
I mean, okay, I feel like there was some misunderstanding on the last episode because you and I actually played a lot of Gears.
A ton of
We've
Gears,
done a
yes.
lot of Gears. And the story, I think, has always been really good.
Up until 3.
I feel like...
When it ended and then they kept going.
Right, yeah. I feel like the story was really emotional and for a shooter was really good. But it's a good game.
But stop.
It's just not... No. I mean, if you don't know, Gears 5 may be really good and it may be the Gears to bring Gears back. You get what I mean?
I
But
guess.
it's never been like, even though you and I had so much fun co-oping through Gears, it's never been something I've gone back to. Does that make sense?
Like, what I'll say here is, like, there's a game down the list being made by the people who made Gears of War Judgment.
Uh-huh.
And I'm more intrigued by that, even if it's going to be like Gears, because it's not Gears.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar, but we've let that universe rest. A cool universe with a great story and great characters that has been played out, and we can kind of move away from it now.
Though I thought it was a really cool concept to get, it was Marcus Phoenix, right? I think it was a really cool concept to get his son in on the game.
Yeah.
I think, and have like part of the story be about his son. I think that was really cool.
It's cool. And once again, I'm going to play it just because the new Horde mode sounds neat.
Yeah.
But I'm not, once again, not like...
So, I mean, we'll definitely play it, but it's going to go, because Gears by no means, we didn't intend for people to think that we thought they were bad games, because we don't. I mean, we co-opted through them.
We're just not super thrilled
and
about it.
it's just, comparatively to all of the games.
The hype level is not high compared to, like, Cyberpunk.
I'll definitely try it, but I'm definitely going to try it
the
after.
next game on this list.
I will try it after I play all of those other games.
Very much so, yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, it's still going to get played. Comes out September 10th, so it's one of the few games on this list you get to play this year.
I'm really surprised, again, by that release date.
They've been working on it for a while.
But that's cool.
Moving on to Dying Light 2.
Oh my god, of course.
Coming when, Brittany?
Spring 2020.
My gosh, there are no other games coming spring 2020 on this show.
Hey man, we're going to have a good 2020. That's fine with me.
I'm just waiting to figure out which ones get delayed. So it is set
it's gonna
15
happen.
years after the first game. A couple of cool, unique things. There are what's called evolved zombies now, and they're region-based. So different parts of the city have zombies that have evolved to that, like, topography of the city.
Mm-hmm.
They've also guaranteed that you're only going to see about half of the game on your first playthrough, because there are choices you make that specifically change or make parts of the city available or unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
Co-op has been confirmed to be back again for sure, which is great.
That's cool.
So you can go into your friend's world, and there will be some very large changes to the world. Like a region might be flooded, or areas might be, thriving, and they might be full of zombies because you cut off their water supply or something crazy. Like, they're saying they're going to be huge choices, and they're going to be split-second choices. They're not always going to be black and white, right or wrong. It's going to be save this guy or let him die and save this whole section of town kind of stuff. Like, very large moral choices. So you're going to have to go in and do it over and over again to get all the right stuff. So I'm super intrigued. There's allegedly a paraglider now, which is like a wingsuit, but not as cool. But just adds to kind of the platforming thing where you already have the grappling hook and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Super thrilled. Want to see more. Didn't see a lot of gameplay, of course, because this was just the E3 of no gameplay. But it's Dying Light. I have no reason not to think it's going to be good. So awesome. Spring 2020.
It'll be here before you know it.
Someday.
I can't believe it's already almost July.
Yeah.
So it'll pass by really fast.
Yes, it looks cool. Lego Forza. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
You saw the car, and I'm like, wait a minute, that car is made of Legos.
Do you think that it was actually made of Legos,
People
or it was
do Lego
made
sculptures that big?
or it was made to look like it was made of Legos?
It may be, but people actually do Lego sculptures that are huge.
Yeah.
So
Do you think they glued it?
I don't know. Sure. You get once you ask.
I'm just curious.
This is one guy with like a small, like with the...
Hey, Phil Spencer. Is that his name?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like, you just asked me, hey,
Tell me.
Did you, what was that thing called from the Lego movie? The Piece of Resistance. Just sitting there with the glue, just dude.
Oh.
Dude.
Oh, no.
I mean, Legos hold together pretty well without being needing to be glued, but I don't know. I haven't played with Legos in like 6 weeks, so.
I was waiting for it.
Gears pop. I mean,
this looks like it's in the spirit of Lego, but with Lego games, but with pops.
Like, if they could make me care any less about this game, it's a mobile game, so it's like, cool, moving on. Don't care.
There is nothing wrong with mobile games.
Yep.
You and me, you and I, we're going to fight. Because Animal Crossing is a mobile game and it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that one game that I played with the wizard? And you like went through the dungeon and you had... That game was amazing! And that was also a mobile game. Gosh, I can't remember what that... Something about a Solomon, I think.
Yeah.
But man, that game was awesome.
It was cool.
There are good mobile games. You're unfair.
I'm not unfair. Just
yes,
that I like
are.
buttons. I like pushing buttons. I don't like touchscreens. And
There
I like
are
to
buttons.
do, when I'm on my phone, I'm what?
Oh, and there's a... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. There is actually a Stranger Things mobile game.
Oh, boy.
That plays like super retro. It's like it's like a super retro style. It plays like an older game. It's actually really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a mobile game. So there are good mobile games.
Sure.
Continue.
All right, what did I... Oh, yeah, I skipped like 8 games. Like, okay, moving on. Okay, so they showed some DLC for State of Decay. That game sucked. Don't care. I'm sorry. State of Decay, no, I just didn't
Did we
like
play State of Decay
no,
together?
you didn't play it. I tried playing it, and it just... State of Decay is
swear I
fine
thought
as
you
a
liked that.
single-player game. No. The multiplayer just felt clunky and not good. I don't know if they ever fixed it, but it's just one of those things where I had better things to do.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha.
Phantasy Star Online 2, like a decade later, coming to the States.
Are you going to drop Final Fantasy?
I don't know, but I'll play it. Phantasy Star was this really cool, like, mythical thing when I was a kid because I didn't have a Dreamcast when it was new. So I couldn't play it, but I saw stuff for it, and I had a friend that had the guide for it, so I was reading the guide, like, this looks so awesome, I'm never going to get to play it. So I really want to have a chance to play it, even though, once again, it's like, even, like, this time I'm still, like, a decade late to the party, because it's been in other countries for a very long time now, but that just means there's lots of content.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's really cool.
So we'll see. It's also coming free to play, which means it's probably going to suck, because there's going to be all kinds of, like, pay-to-win stuff, but we'll see. We'll see.
You don't know.
You're right.
You
Fingers
don't
crossed.
know.
Hopes are high. Here we go. Wahoo.
Would you play it if it was a mobile game?
No.
You're terrible.
Because they would...
You have such a bias.
Yes.
That's awful.
But see, that's cool. I'm not
what
saying
if there was a mobile game that you played that was really good?
You could show me one.
I can.
Which one?
Stranger Things.
Nope.
Animal Crossing.
Nope. I've seen you play Animal Crossing. It's like menu. I gotta wait 4 hours for these boots. Nope.
Oh my god.
You
that's
showed
one
me
thing.
every reason I
It's
needed
like
to see
one thing.
not to play it. Right there. I'm good. Thank you very much. Because
man.
you could accelerate those boots if you buy some crinkle tickets, whatever the heck it's called.
Leaf tickets.
Oh, sorry.
And you don't it is so
or
easy.
you can wait 4 hours to get them.
It is so easy to get leaf tickets in those games. Like you just log in and you get leaf tickets because you logged in that day. It's really easy to get them. So it's not. It's
gotta watch your ad there to get your crinkle tickets.
You know my favorite thing about Animal Crossing?
Dirty
fortune cookies.
consumer.
I love buying those fortune cookies.
Oh my god.
It's so fun.
Whatever.
Okay, continue.
New Tales game, Tales of Arise. Looks very Xenoblade. Once again, didn't see a whole lot of it, but just, male, female protagonists, as always. Male has this like weird mask that gets broken off. Very pretty. I've never been able to get into Tales games. I love them. I want to love them so much. I'll play it and I'll be like, this combat still sucks. It's like, make up your mind. Either make it.
I thought you were.
I love Tales games. I just can't play them. It's one of those weird things where I'll watch it and I love the stories. I can't play them. It's like Vesperia. I'm struggling so hard to get through Vesperia again because the combat just feels so weird. It's this weird, like, it's real time, but it's not. Like, just go all the way. Then make it turn-based or go, like, full-on Final Fantasy 15 here, guys. Like, stop making me be stuck in the middle here with this really weird, like, clunky system. Stop. But, I'm going to play it. So, like, that being said, it's still going to get played. Let's talk about Elden Ring. So, just a CG trailer, but, confirmation.
Super cool concept. It's basically Lord of the Rings, so I'm excited.
Pretty much. Written by George R.R. Martin, so it's going to be dark and gritty and sad, and everyone's going to die. Sounds perfect for a Souls-type game. Everyone's gonna die, including you.
I'll play it.
They've confirmed much more focus on RPG than Sekiro. It is going to be open world, so much wider in scope than Dark Souls, which is interesting.
That sounds pretty legit.
I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah.
So
it's not coming out until like bajillion years from now,
yeah,
right?
I didn't even put a date on it. So
exactly. It's going to be in the making for a decade.
Next gen console game, I'd imagine. Probably PS5, Xbox 2, Xbox Next, Xbox Scarlet, whatever you want to call it. But that's spiffy. They talked about the xCloud for a little while. It's coming in October. It's going to be a Google Stadia competitor, blah, blah, blah. Xbox Scarlet is confirmed for holiday 2020. Launch title is going to be Halo Infinite, or whatever it's called.
I'm really surprised because that's very soon for a launch of a new console.
Well, you think it's about time. It's been like 8 years.
Is it basically blah 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 blah? English is hard.
As a matter of fact,
is it going to be a new console or a new Xbox One?
New console.
New console. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because this is where I was kind of like, new console, or is it another edition of an
PS5.
Xbox One?
It's going to be a brand new console.
Okay. Yeah. And I think launching with Halo is very smart. So they're really going to try.
Yep.
They're going to try.
Yep.
That's cool.
They're going to have to come out swinging because overall, I got to say, this conference, while good, I didn't see Microsoft come out swinging. I saw them come out kind of like...
I think they were very strong.
But to be fair, though, like a lot of other shows, I figure we mentioned here, the E3 before the year of a console release is historically weak because everyone's working on a different console's games and they can't talk about them yet.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's why we saw a lot of...
And if that is the case, I still feel like it was a pretty strong E3.
It was a decent showing, yeah. It could have and should have been a lot better, but it wasn't because they're working on stuff they can't talk about yet.
Yeah.
That's why Sony wasn't even there, because Sony has nothing to show us right now.
I think they probably do. They're just choosing not to show it at this particular moment.
You can be hopeful. I'll be realistic.
Opinion.
Okay, so let's talk about Bethesda. So Microsoft was one of the long ones, so it should accelerate after that because we're already hitting the 2-hour mark. Woo! Told you this is going to be a big one.
You were like,
depending on how long this show is, I might still split it in half, just in like upload another half like next week or something, depending on how far this goes, because we still have Bethesda, Devolver, the PC show, Ubisoft, Square Enix, and Nintendo.
Oh wow,
we've done one conference.
You're going to talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, and Square.
And Square. We're going to dig real deep in Nintendo.
Okay, so let's knock out Bethesda then. Oops, as I kick my microphone, I'm sorry. So let's talk about, first of all, the paid cheer crowd Bethesda had. So we don't know, but in the front row, there were people all wearing the exact same Bethesda shirt, screaming for literally everything. Especially with Todd Howard's up there talking about how they're going to have new servers, and one guy goes, "Yeah, servers!" Like no one that's not being paid screams for servers.
You don't know
that.
No
one in their right mind is that excited for servers.
And to be fair, you don't know that. And also, if I was like a huge fan of something, I would probably cheer for stupid stuff too.
Because man, it was like people were like, so who likes green beans? Green beans.
Like if they were talking about Animal Crossing and they were like, Animal Crossing this, I'd be like, yeah, Animal Crossing this. So, I mean, you don't know.
You know it was excessive.
But do I think it was excessive and do I think they were paid? Yes.
Server!
Oh, man, that was funny.
You could have excused it until he screamed servers.
Because, no, actually, before that even happened, I started wondering, like, man, and I was almost going to comment to you, because we were watching this together, that, man, they must really love that guy in the front row, because it is there have been comedians in the past that talk about how if someone's sitting in the front that has like a huge boisterous laugh or a booming laugh, it's nice because it gets other people laughing. It gets other people excited. So those people are a godsend, and you want them sitting in the front. You want them sitting close to you. You want people to be able to hear them. So I started thinking about that. You know, that would actually be a really good tactic.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
it was a bit overdone though.
And I was like, I bet you they're loving that guy in the front row right now.
Because you saw the rest of the crowd was like, and you could just hear, whoa! Like, yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's just somebody who really loves Bethesda, and they were like, dude, we'll give you some swag if you're just like extra excited. you know? And
Well,
there's nothing wrong with
To
that.
respond to that, let me go ahead and read my notes here that
Oh,
says,
no.
man, the Bethesda drones are out in force today.
Oh, no.
Paid chills or what here, guys?
Oh, man. It was really funny, though. I did start to wonder.
It was rough. But so all this stuff we're going to go through pretty fast. They talked about Fallout 76 and how it was a broken piece of crap, and they're going to fix it by adding a Battle Royale mode. I'm not even
Battle
making that up.
Royale mode.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Like that's just hilarious. Like 76 can't even handle a server with like 12 people in it right now without crashing.
I mean, let them work
But it's
on
gonna
it.
have a battle royale mode. Like, okay, maybe fix your game first.
Maybe that's part of the process. They're going to be
It's
working on it.
adding a Fortnite mode.
They're going to be fixing it and then add a battle royale mode.
Fine.
You know what, though?
But-
I talked to somebody the other day that actually was like, I have fun playing Fallout 76.
Did he have that shell shock look in his face?
No.
Where I dropped a bunch of money on
No.
a canvas bag
No,
and I have
he
to like it
didn't.
now?
But he was saying, you know, that he actually had a good time and he was trying to get his friend to play it with him because it was actually pretty fun.
His friend was like, hell no, bro.
And I feel like you can find you can still find the fun in anything, even that game.
Sure, you can find the fun in
That
like
sounded
liver
terrible.
cancer if you really want to.
That sounded
but it's like, hey,
terrible.
I'm gonna quit drinking.
I'm just
Sorry.
goodbye. The end.
So we'll skip on past that. Elder Scrolls Blades is on the Switch.
Mhm.
It's a mobile game. Don't care. It, to be fair, doesn't look very good. I have not
I'm gonna
tried
hit
it.
the mic repeatedly.
Maybe it's amazing. But yeah,
so it'll
mobile game.
so when you have to fix it, you're
God, I hate you. Servers. That's gonna be a
oh
thing.
man.
But moving on to something cool, Ghostwire Tokyo. This come out of nowhere, and this looks awesome.
Oh my
First
god,
up,
I'm
hold
choking
on.
on my tea.
Me and a lot of people, that cute little woman.
She was so precious.
And people are like, man, people like are like objectifying her. I'm like, she was
No.
selling up her cuteness though, also, where she's like, it's
Yeah.
spooky.
Yeah. Oh my god, she was so cute.
So precious.
Yes. It was
Um,
amazing.
But so Ghostwire Tokyo from the people who made Evil Within and vis-a-vis Resident Evil.
Can I just say
Mm.
that there are a few keywords here.
Go
like
ahead, Brittany.
ghost. Okay, that's one of them. Tokyo.
Wire.
Spooky. Japan and demons.
Ye-
Tokyo, I guess that counts.
Yes.
So I'm sold, and I don't care what the game is.
More or
I'm gonna
less.
play it.
Yeah, once again, all we saw was a CGI trailer, but from the story from what I understand is that people are disappearing in Tokyo and there's something supernatural going on,
Ooh,
and you have to figure out why.
I'm so excited.
Evil Within was good. Evil Within 2 was
Mhm.
good. I was old.
You know, this kind of reminds me, it's very reminiscent of Deathmark, like the
Yep.
story that Deathmark
Yep.
is, where it's a mystery
But
that you have to
bigger and
solve.
prettier
And
because
yes,
Deathmark is good, but it's very low budget,
It is.
like kind of visual novel-esque.
Yes,
Great
and,
game.
and
but-
it's still a great game, and it's still really pretty, but it's nowhere near what this
Yeah,
is going to look
2D.
like.
It had like a dungeon
Yeah.
crawler aspect
Yeah.
where you like move forward one screen at a time.
Yes,
And
yeah.
yeah, this is going to be a lot prettier and open, but with that same kind of like
Oh.
dark Japanese horror.
Yes,
Japan.
I'm crying right now.
Wow, Japan is so good at horror, and they
Yes.
don't do it enough.
I know. It breaks
Like they do lots of
my
movies. Like there isn't enough
soul.
horror anime. There isn't enough good horror
Truly.
games.
And you know, we talk about this all the time. Like whenever
Uh-huh.
we're trying to watch anime, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to watch something that's scary.
Like, there isn't a lot of it.
And
like it's out there, but not much.
Japan is so good at that genre. I
Mhm.
don't understand why there's not more
I
horror
don't know. either.
anime. Though The Promised Neverland, I'm so sorry, I'm branching off here a little bit. There's an anime called The Promised Neverland. I think it's on
Funimation.
Funimation,
I think it's on Crunchyroll
and
also.
might be on Crunchyroll.
The
that
kids that
anime
are harvested to be food for the
is
demons.
so good. Yes. And
Mhm.
it's like super intriguing and it's full of mystery that keeps you going, which I really like.
Hmm.
I'm excited to finish it because I really want to know what's going on. I hope there's another season because it's only like 12 episodes.
I think, yeah.
So I don't know if they can close all of this shenanigans.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, but I would highly recommend it. Go see it. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to skip that because I don't care about Elder Scrolls Online. I get people that like it. I just don't. I've tried. And I have on here, man, one guy is really excited out there.
Servers!
Mobile games. Commander Keen is now a mobile game. I can't believe they resurrected Commander Keen
I
just to
don't
make him a
even
mobile
know what
game.
that is.
Commander Keen is an old DOS game.
Okay.
Also, funny, Commander Keen's kids, which are the boy and the girl, and this Commander Keen's son is the Doom guy. So that little kid apparently grows up to be the Doom guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's cool. Or maybe it's his daughter, but Doom it looks like a guy. So it's a really, really just butch woman, and that's fine. You know, good for her. More power to her. But so one of those kids is the Doom guy. It's the Doom guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is where I'm
funny.
writing down, like, as it panned across, like, the people here look really, really bored. And I write that we don't actually love mobile games there because I was like, we know how much you guys love mobile games. And I'm like, you actually just said that. No one loves mobile games. They tolerate them and they play them because they can't play Xbox.
But there's nothing wrong with...
No, but like it's like the
There's
guy from...
nothing wrong with mobile games.
like-
I can understand. Would you take a Diablo mobile game, I'm sorry, over a real Diablo game? No, you're not going to want that. I understand.
He had like that guy seemed like that kind of misguidedness where he's like,
But
you guys don't have phones? What's the problem?
But there is nothing wrong with enjoying real games. That's terrible. There's nothing. No, shut up. There's nothing wrong with enjoying console games as well as mobile games. Nothing
That's fine.
wrong
I
with
just
that.
wish at
And
the
some
premiere-
mobile games are actually really good.
When you find one.
Like Animal Crossing and Stranger
No.
Things and that one wizard game I played that I can't remember
My
what it was
God.
called.
Look, mobile games are fine, but just like at the premier gaming show in the country, I don't want to see
I
them.
get it. I understand.
Anyways, moving on. They talked about the Elder Scrolls cards game. Don't care. There are 2 card games on the planet that I care about, and that's Gwent and Triple Triad.
Of course.
Moving on.
Yes.
We saw a...
Did they ever come out? I'm so sorry. And hey, you said you wanted this to be a long show.
I know.
So
No, you're right. You're right.
the Gwent set.
Yes.
Remember they were supposed I was under the impression that they were going to release like a board game, not a board game, but it was going to come in a box.
I don't remember.
And
actually.
it was
We
going to
need
be
look.
Gwent decks, and it was going to come with rules, and
Yeah.
it was.
I don't know because we
What
have all
happened
of
to
them from
that?
all the special editions that you got me, and then there's the digital game now.
Because that year that you guys went to Anime Expo, it wasn't you, it was John.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Game Over went to Anime
Yeah.
Expo. They had it advertised.
Yeah.
So whatever happened
If you
to
know
that?
about there being a physical
Please
Gwent set that I
tell
don't know
us.
about, let us know at podcast@gameovervideogames.com
'Cause
or just
he's
let us know on the YouTube
obsessed.
because I'll buy it right now.
I will.
Right now. I'll stop. I will walk away. Like I'll pause your video and go buy it. I don't know. We'll see. So we saw another CGI trailer for a game called Deathloop. Do you remember this one at all? Where it's the man and the woman and they keep having to kill each other. Did you not see this?
Oh, yes.
It sounds cool, but once again, we saw none of the gameplay. It's from the guys who from Arcane. So the guys behind Dishonored.
Another
and-
really interesting
Yes.
concept.
So sounds cool. There are these 2 people and they're stuck in a loop where one will kill the other and it'll reset like the day. And this is the other Groundhog Day one where
Yeah.
like things keep flipping, or Happy Death Day more
Yeah.
appropriately actually. And one of the characters really wants and thinks if he can kill the other character, he can stop the loop. And the other character doesn't want to stop the loop because she likes killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds cool. I'd like to see some gameplay for it, but
It
you know,
does sound
Arcane
really
has a good
cool.
track record, so
Yeah.
we'll just have to see. But that's coming someday, maybe 2020. We don't know.
That's definitely intriguing. Definitely into it.
Doom, coming November 22nd. So another one coming this
There you
year.
go.
Looks like Doom. Awesome. This time
Doom
you're
is
killing
cool.
angels and demons. Yay.
Pretty awesome.
Heaven gets involved. And they're like, stop that, bro. And you're like, I'll rip your face off because Doom guy kills everything. That's the way it goes.
Very cool.
Looks cool. That was Bethesda.
Server. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Stand up moment for Bethesda. Servers and spooky.
That was amazing.
Servers.
That reminds me. Every time you say that, it reminds me of Psychopaths when he's like spooky boogie.
So much quicker than Microsoft. We're getting this, no problem. Devolver Digital. This is gonna take like 5 minutes. Devolver Digital. We didn't really expect games. I really wanted to see Middle of Chaos XD, and they didn't talk about it, which pissed me off.
I know you were so disappointed.
Yeah. Because they talked about it last year and just ignored it this year, but they actually talked about just ignoring games entirely, so they did it on purpose because they're trolls. It was a fun conference, you know, huge RoboCop references across the whole way. There's a game called Fall Guys, which looks almost like it's not really a battle royale. It looks like Takeshi's Castle, actually. Did you ever watch that show? I know you did. You don't know what it's called, though. It's the Japanese game show where there's a bunch of people and they have to do different different stunts, like running across stuff. It's almost like Ninja Warrior, but more goofy. And then Beat Takeshi was the host. You know, the guy from Battle Royale. You know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
right?
I remember. I swear we've seen some of that together.
Yes, we have. I
Yeah.
used to watch it all the time after
Yeah,
school, but because the version here they redubbed. It like really cheesy American dialogue that didn't actually make any sense, and people,
Yeah.
great, hilarious show. But it looks like that, but with like weird, like little blobby creatures. So that looks cool. There's a game called Carry On, which looks like The Thing. If you were playing The Thing, weird is this like this blob of meat that like reaches out with tentacles and grabs things and eats them and like crawls through ventilation shafts and eats more people and gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it reminds me actually a whole lot of The Ooze, this old Sega Genesis game, where you were a blob. Yeah. You were this blob. You're like a scientist who got turned into a blob and washed down a drain, and you were just this blob, and you had to like consume things and avoid the military and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Cool game for the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, if you will. But that looks spiffy. Was there anything else?
I don't recall that one. I remember the haunting one where you played like a little
starring Poltergeist.
Yeah.
We talked about that last show,
Yeah, we did.
Where it's kind of a dark show because you get run over and murdered.
Yeah.
And then you have to haunt the family and make them panic and leave their house. And you chase them across into the next house and scare them there too. And like, man.
That is pretty dark.
Yeah, good stuff. Enter the Gungeon's getting an arcade game, which is great. In the world where arcades are dead, stagnant, and boring, I will happily play Enter the Gungeon. No problem. And that was it. No Metal Wolf Chaos. Sad face Matt. All right, guys, I'm going to be honest with you here. I quite literally fell asleep during the PC gaming show. I'm sorry.
No.
It was that boring. Just lots of just talking and Epic Games Store shilling, and it just wasn't good. I did, however, manage to backtrack and go online and do some research for Vampire the Masquerade 2, because that's where they showed that off. Really want it to be good. I'm keeping my expectations low because it was one of those cases where it was kind of a Cuphead video. Remember the Cuphead video people were talking about for the longest time, about the game journalist who couldn't figure out how to get past the tutorial?
Oh, okay, yes. I do remember
This felt
that.
like that, where whoever was playing the game couldn't use the controller properly. Like their sensitivity was really, really low. So they were turning like around things to be cinematic, but they were walking upstairs, and as they were walking up sideways, they were like slowly turning up the stairs and everything. And it didn't look good. So trying to keep, expectations kind of like tempered, because once again, it's not a big studio.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so hard to judge games like that because until you have it in your own hands.
Very much so, because
You know
you
what
kind
I
of
mean?
create your own story.
Exactly.
It visually looked really kind of wonky, where you go into a club and you press X to dance, and you go like, mind you, I can't dance, but I know what dancing is, and that wasn't it. Like, maybe it was. Maybe I'm just really like, my hipness level is in the negative so much. I don't know, like, is he having a seizure? Is this vampire dancing? Like, what's going on here?
Vampire dancing?
Like, is vampire like different dancing where it's like, look at me, I can dislocate my entire upper torso. And then you got up and you got to talk to people, and you were talking to this lady who I'm assuming is a vampire, who was being all like naughty and seductive with you and everything, like so many people in the Masquerade are. And she was less expressive than characters from the game a decade ago, where she was like, and you can always come talk to me, even when there's no business. I can make time for you. And just like
that, huh?
Plastic faced. I'm like, please, just do this. Like something like Half-Life had expressive characters. I mean, come on, guys. So,
I think there's still time.
yeah, no, there's lots. They've said there's lots of time. There's lots of things to work on. The demo's unfortunately getting lots of flack, so hopefully they're going to go back and fix everything.
And that's the sad thing. I think this is why this is my personal opinion. I feel like you're starting to see less betas, less demos. It's because of stuff like this. People just jump to conclusions.
It's a shame, because when you see an open beta for a game like Anthem, the game's pretty much done. So if the beta's bad, the game's gonna be bad. Now, in this case, if it's a demo, the game still has like a year of development. There's stuff you can do about it. So it's good to show folks and be like, hey, here's what we're working on. We're gonna fix it. We get it. We're gonna do more with it. That's fine. But if it's like, BioWare, like, yeah, the game comes out in 2 months. Don't worry, it'll be better. Like,
Yeah.
So I still, I have hopes that it's gonna be fun. I really hope they fix those dead faces. I know they're vampires. I know they're dead. Haha, I get it. But, give me some expressions. It's going to be 2020 when this game comes out. Even, smaller studios can do something. Because the game is visually pretty until you look at the character models, and it looks kind of like the character models from Postal 2. I know that's a huge insult, and I mean it to be. So,
Wow.
we will have to see. But, I want it to be good. well, this is me thinking positive because I love the Masquerade. I love Bloodlines. I love all the games. I love the tabletop game. It's great. I want this to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. We're just think positive.
Okay.
Power positive thinking. That it was just a bad demo.
What? I think it will be.
Yeah, it was just a bad demo.
And they have plenty of time.
Yeah, exactly. So I have it here that we're supposed to take a break, but do you just want to keep rocking? Want to keep rocking?
I'd like to take a break.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll take a break then.
Okay.
And we will be right back.
I thought about it, but I was like, no.
Okay. Break time.
Okay.